Prosecutors continue laying out their case against Carmelo Anthony. He is the teen accused of killing another teen at a Frisco ISD track meet last year. Anthony's attorney claims it was self-defense. Trevor Sahaki is live outside the courthouse for us this morning. And Trevor, who has the jury heard from this morning?
Well, Karen, so far we've heard from first responders as well as law enforcement officers who responded to the stadium for the stabbing. This has included a Frisco firefighter as well as several Frisco police officers. We also got to see body camera footage of Anthony's arrest. Now, that firefighter, he described in some graphic detail the state of Austin Metcalf's body after the stabbing. Metcalf's father put his head in his lap, and his mother wiped away tears at that point in the trial. Now, this case revolves around a confrontation between Anthony and Metcalf at a Frisco ISD track meet last April. Authorities say Anthony stabbed Metcalf, but Anthony says it was self-defense. After the firefighter testified, the officer who arrested Anthony took the stand. He described handcuffing Anthony as the body cam footage played. According to Officer Eduardo Cortez, Anthony told him, quote, "I'm not alleged, I did it," and quote, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." On cross-examination, the defense did confirm Anthony surrendered peacefully and complied with the officers. The defense also pointed out the no weapons rule is not a criminal offense, just a policy of Frisco ISD. Defense attorney Mike Howard asked Officer Eduardo Cortez about Anthony crying after the stabbing. Cortez said in response, quote, "Did I see tears coming down his face? I can't testify to that because I didn't see his face. My description was based on the tone of his voice." We're now hearing from another police officer right now. This is the officer that found the knife that prosecutors believe was used in the stabbing. This case is expected to go through the end of today and into tomorrow. Live in McKinney, Trevor Sahaki, CBS News, Texas.
All right, Trevor, thank you very much.
Okay, well, Karmelo, it's not looking good for my boy. You know what I'm saying? But my boy would have threw them hands. My boy would have went and got the homies and got some help and came back to throw down. My boy wouldn't have pulled out no knife and stabbed the other dude in the heart for pushing him and killing him. And if my boy had done that, I would have been the first one to tell my boy, like, I understand what you saying, as in you saying it in the English language, and I understand English, but I don't understand why you went above and beyond what was necessary to defend yourself, if in fact that's what you were doing. It's not looking good for Karmelo. He has a very bad situation on his hands because yesterday, multiple student witnesses, eyewitnesses, who were right there, testified against him. Police officers and first responders testified against him. And the police are saying, well, he admitted to doing it. He admitted to stabbing Austin Metcalf. He tried to hide the weapon by throwing it into the stands. Then he tried to run away, run out of the stadium. So they're saying, hey, if this guy was just defending himself, why did he, one, try to hide the weapon? Two, he tried to run and leave the stadium. And three, he admitted that he stabbed the boy, right? And to follow up with that, you have students who are there saying, yo, there was words exchanged, but it wasn't nothing crazy to where we even thought they were going to fight. There's even a girl who was like, I saw them like kind of talking crap, but she was like, I just started looking back at TikTok on my phone because it didn't even seem like it was going to escalate to a fight. Let me tell you this too. Did you guys know that Carmelo Anthony wasn't even on a track team? For me, that changed the whole dynamic of the situation. For the longest, I was thinking Carmelo was on the rival track team and just went and sat under, right, another team's tent trying to get away from some sprinkles or some raindrops or whatever that was falling. I thought that. Whole time, this boy ain't even on the track team. Whole time. And anyone knows this. If you are not even on it, you don't go under anyone's tent if you're not on their team. That's one. That's the first rule. But the second rule is, if you ain't even on no team and you're just an attendee, you have no business not only under the tent of a rival team, you don't even have business under the tent of the team that you've come to support, because that's just for the team. And I believe they did a really good job of, I believe they did a really good job, thank you, of explaining and defining what quote unquote locker room culture is. That's what they're calling this whole tent situation. They're calling it locker room culture. They're saying, well, a tent is treated like the opposing team's locker room, and no player of an opposing team would go into the locker room of another team under any circumstances. So they're saying that the tents are like locker rooms, and you don't go under the tent. And I believe that they did a very good job of convincing the jury that that's the way things go. Seeing as how this is Texas, Texas has like some of the greatest sports rivalries in history. So, I know we's black. I know that now. I understand that. But I want you to also understand that if you think you're going to pull this baloney junk, this bull junk, as Shay would say, if you think you about to pull this bull junk on a bunch of Texans and convince them that, oh, well, he had every right to be up under the tent of the other team. Black Texans, white Texans, green Texans, blue Texans, they all going to tell you you're a damn liar. And that's the problem with this whole thing for me. Are we sacrificing the credibility of our whole community in an effort to help this boy walk free, when there were people from the community who were black who had the opportunity to sit on the jury and be a part of the process of exonerating bro, who refused to do it because deep down inside they know that he's guilty? Are you telling me now across the nation we got to all go out looking like a bunch of fools, a bunch of bums, in order to protect this dude who made a horrible mistake? Now, we can all agree that bro made a horrible mistake. Just like I can agree that Rick Chow made a horrible mistake. But just like I think that Rick Chow deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison for what he did, right? Now, I'm not saying I think that, but I could understand if that was the case. I'm saying that Carmelo Anthony spending a significant amount of time in prison for what he did is something I can understand. I couldn't argue against it. I can be like, no, that's not right. Blah, blah, blah. I couldn't do that. I'm telling you, as a person who plays sports, I said once and I say it again, let that have been California. Bro wouldn't have been able to lead a tent because we would have body slammed his ass up out of there on his neck. He probably would have been looking like Christopher Reeves around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly feel like the white boys gave him a little bit of leniency, just pushing him a little bit. Get up out of here, bro. Get up out of here, bro. And this is the damning part. Let me tell you the cold part. I bet y'all didn't even know this. When Karmelo stuck his hand in his backpack and was like, touch me and see what happened, do you know Austin Metcalf said, man, you don't even got nothing in that bag. They live in a community that is so far removed from the criminal element that many African-American people are used to existing or dwelling within. No one in that entire community would ever even suspect that someone would bring a gun to school, or a knife for that matter, and try to kill somebody. That's real. That's real. Everyone was like, this doesn't happen where we live. And that is working against Carmelo Anthony more than anything. But we got a brother in the courtroom every day. And he reports on the situation. He does a really good job. Bro is like, this is his passion. This is his passion. Because he came out telling he came out spilling all the tea on this situation. And I'm going to let y'all hear what he had to say. And then I'm going to tell you whether or not I believe Austin is being railroaded or not. Because a lot of this is the new narrative. First, it was he's innocent. Second, if you notice, The narrative has changed several times. And that's when you know people don't really believe what they're saying. Because first it was like they jumped him. First it was like they jumped him and he stabbed the boy. So it was like self-defense, right? Then it was like Austin Metcalf is a racist. These racists came after bro. Bro was just defending himself. He's smaller, all this stuff. Now it's going to he's being railroaded. He's not getting a fair trial. Well, isn't that why people sent him over $800,000? Which his parents used to buy another house? And these lawyers, oh my God. I'll talk about this after. Let me get y'all to this clip because y'all got to hear this.
Defending himself, that he was trying to get out of the situation. And they say that he went to one of his coaches until police arrived. Now, once police arrived, Karmelo is quoted as saying, quote, "I'm not alleged, I did it." And prosecutors say that proves that Karmelo knew what he did. They also say that Karmelo said, quote, "I told him not to," when speaking about Austin Metcalf. And they say that also shows that Karmelo wasn't afraid for his life, that Karmelo, they argue, murdered Austin Metcalf. Now, the defense, they look at the sequence of events a little different. They say that the fact that Karmelo said, "I'm not alleged, I did it," that doesn't prove anything. They say, if anything, it shows that he wasn't hiding the fact that he was involved in this altercation and that he had to do it because it was self-defense. Now, of course, a big question that was raised by prosecutors right out of the gate this morning is, I think, a question that hangs over this trial. And it's, why does a 17-year-old kid competing at a high school track meet, middle of the week, why does he need to bring a knife with him? Now, we'll talk about how the defense may address that in a moment. The defense, at the start of their opening statements today, they took the approach of trying to paint Carmelo Anthony not as a killer, but telling the jury that he's a good kid. This is a guy who was voted captain of his football team. He's someone who has never been in trouble with the law. He works multiple jobs. He enjoys playing chess. He enjoys going camping. They say that he is not the monster that prosecutors are alleging that he is. Now, witness testimony is going to be a driving force behind this trial, but also today, prosecutors showed surveillance video of the incident. Cody Thomas of Court TV was in the courtroom today for all of the testimony. Cody, I know that there's a 911 call that was played that we'll talk about, some very emotional testimony there at the end of the day, but I want to begin right after opening statements. Surveillance video of this incident was shown. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Chris, it was 5 different angles, surveillance video. Looked like the cameras were on like the light post inside the high school football stadium because they were very wide shots. So the first witness was a forensic video analyst who obviously went through and tried to enhance the videos. We watched the original videos first, and quite frankly, you really...
Guys, I got to correct something really quick. Carmelo was a member of the track team. There was actually confusion even during the trial as to whether he was a member of the track team. He was a member of the track team, and then it was confused with whether he had already ran in his event before he had the incident with Austin Metcalf. So he was a member of the Centennial High School track team. That was a mistake that I made, which, I misread it. So he was a member of the track team. Let me shout out to Guap, Gutter City Pro, Capo. He said, "This is misinformation." And I said, what could possibly be misinformation? So I went and looked over it real quick, and I said, ooh, you got that one wrong. So, yes, I was wrong. Thank you, Gutter City Capo. I appreciate that, bro. He was a member. He was a member of the hood. No, I'm just kidding. He was a member. But this guy's living in a very peaceful suburb. You don't really get a lot of crime. You don't get any crime there, really. And why this guy? To me, it makes it worse. So you were there to run in the event, and you bring in a knife. Why do you have a knife at a damn track event if you one of the athletes? I played football, and I never brought a weapon to any game. That's my question. I never brought a weapon to any game. Like, why would that that makes it even more premeditated. Like, despite the fact that he said, touch me and see what happened. I mean, you premeditating, bro. You planning on doing something. All right, let's get back to this.
couldn't see much of anything. And then after a few minutes, we zoomed in. He showed all the enhancements, and he had spot shadowing and highlighting who we're supposed to be looking at. You can't really make out any distinct features, and the prosecution admitted that before they even played the video. They had to look at clothing and identify the person of interest, who of course is Carmelo Anthony, and the victim, who is Austin Metcalf. So they outlined all of that based on the photos that came out later once Carmelo was taken into custody. But again, the videos, it establishes what happened. You can definitely make out what happened, but it wasn't, to me personally, as compelling as I thought it would be, because it looks like gas station video. It's really grainy. It's zoomed in. When it's zoomed out, it looks high quality, but when it zooms in, as you know, with any picture, it loses some of the quality. But you can see the tent where everything goes down. You see Carmelo Anthony walk under the tent 2 minutes before Austin Metcalf and his friends get to the tent. And then everything starts going down within 4.5 minutes. You see, just kind of some humanoid blobs under the yellow Memorial High School tent. And then you see one figure kind of jolt, really fast jolts to and from, which they were saying, the prosecution was saying, that was the initial push. They're not denying that Austin Metcalf, made physical contact. They admitted that there was a physical altercation, but that was the moment you saw the push. And then of course you see the 25, 30 kids start scattering throughout the bleachers. And then you see the person of interest, again, Carmelo Anthony, running down the bleachers, running a ways away from where the tent was, out onto the track and into the arms of another coach, Chris. But again, the video, of course, establishing, giving us, painting a picture of what it looked like that morning. This all happened around 10:02 in the morning, right when the track meet was supposed to start. Just really giving us a scene setter, just to allow us to understand what was really going down that day.
And we don't have cameras in the courtroom, as we've said. I mean, and I know things got emotional near the end of the day. And we'll talk about some of these witnesses here in the moment, some of these coaches that witnessed what happened. They witnessed the aftermath. But what's the layout of the courtroom? Like, what was Carmelo Anthony's, what did he seem like as all of this was going on today?
So I'm positioned right behind the Metcalf family. So it's a very small courtroom, Chris, only seats about 60, 65 people. Each side, each family gets 15 people each, so that's 30. You have 9 of us media people, that's 39, and then plus court staff. So it's about 45 seats already taken up before members of the public can get inside, which that only allowed for 25. I think the exact number this morning was 27 members of the public who are allowed to come in. But of course, you have the Metcalf family on one side, the Carmelo Anthony camp on another side, and I'm watching Carmelo during all of these videos, all of the emotional testimony from the different coaches and witnesses, because, I mean, at the end of the day, he stabbed a kid to death. Whether, it's proven to be self-defense, whether it's proven to be murder, whether it's manslaughter, you still took a human life. And I'm looking at him, and he was kind of stoic. He wasn't really emotional. He was watching the videos. He didn't turn away from the videos. But I'm looking at Austin Metcalf's family, and his father, is fully engaged and everything, but every so often, every 10 to 15 minutes, his father would just kind of put his head in his hands like this, and I'd see him nod his head no, just, of course, overwhelming emotion there. But I'm looking back and forth trying to gauge the dynamics between both of them, between the alleged aggressor and the victim here. And there was stoicism on this side and clear emotion on the Metcalf side, as expected.
Yeah, I mean, you just think of the weight of everything we're talking about, and even the possibility for Carmelo Anthony that he could be sent to prison for the rest of his life.
He's going to be sent to prison. But one of the things I want to point out to everybody, this is what happens when you think that race is a viable defense. Racism is a viable defense in a murder trial. You make mistakes that normal defense attorneys and defense efforts would not make. This guy, for one, showing no emotion whatsoever. Bro, if I'm his attorney, I'm gonna be like, man, when you see like something crazy, just like put your head down, shake it. You got to do an acting job to make people think you're remorseful, right? The jury is watching you. The jury is watching you. And when you're sitting there stoic with no reaction, they're thinking, this guy's a hardcore killer. This is one of them YNs that we've been seeing on YouTube and on the TV and all that. Heartless. Because unfortunately, and it shouldn't be this way, but it is this way. When you're sitting there on trial for murder, You're being tried alongside every single no good degenerate YN who done shot up somebody, killed somebody, or hurt somebody and showed no remorse. They looking at you, they see King Von. They looking at you and they see Lil Durk, murder for hire. They looking at you and they see Yellow Beezy, or whoever. The list goes on and on. They looking at you and they see the dudes who killed Young Dolph, and they see every negative thing in you that they've heard through social media, YouTube, and just over the internet, TMZ, whatever, because that's the world we live in. And in their heart, in their minds, they're saying, we get a chance to do something about it today. Bro, my head is going to my hands. I'm shaking my head. I might even burst out and say, man, I'm so sorry, or it's whatever, just a random Yelp, something just to let people know that I'm remorseful. Because this community, when they see Austin Metcalf, they're seeing their kids. But you need to make them see that you are also a kid. Bro, they said it was people in there. The black dude in another video, he said he expected, because he's a court reporter, he said he expected for the women jurors to be in there crying, right? Bro said the male jurors were in there crying. Bro said the male jurors were in there crying real tears with tissue in their hand over this situation. That to me right there is telling me this guy's cooked. This guy's cooked. But when you think that racism is a viable defense, you make mistakes like his family made. The lawyer is clearly incompetent. When a lawyer starts asking people what are their views on illegal immigration, do you know even if a juror was like, I don't care, bro, you are in Texas. That is the #1 state. You are in Texas. Texas is the #1 illegal immigration hating state in America because they're right on that border. When your lawyer who's defending you asks a juror, how do you feel about illegal immigration? Even if they say they don't care, that you already got one strike against you, because they say this lawyer is an activist. He don't care about what's true or what's false. He's an ideologue. He'll defend anything if he believes it helps to further his narrative. I'm sorry. I wish I could have talked to Carmelo Daddy. I wish I would have talked to Carmelo Daddy. Bro, you can't bring this activism shit up in this courtroom thinking you're going to get your son off. Because that says that you have a hostile disposition towards the law and order. They looking at you. You with this idiot. They're looking at the Black Lives Matter terrorists and all these type of people. Just the optics were all bad, man. Look at Rick Chow. Rick Chow went and got him a black lawyer. He was like, if I'm being tried by a bunch of blacks, I want my lawyer to be black. Because if I got a black lawyer and I put my life in his hands, there's no way they could say I'm a racist. Carmelo should have did some conferencing with Rick Chow and them. Because that's when you serious and you about business. With this nonsense, this is a spectacle right here. This defense that they waged on bro's behalf. Hell, to me, it's a damn mistrial already because the incompetence of his defense. But ain't nobody gonna bring that up, I guess. I mean, it is. This is what we do. We run around and let people just have their way with us, man. It's their world. We just living in it, huh? I guess, right? We this is what we do, though. We just let people do whatever they want with us. It's my life here. To the daddy, this your son's life on the line. And you gonna put your son's life in the hands of a bunch of bums? You about to put your son's life in the hands of an incompetent person who's bringing up things that are 100% irrelevant in a case for your son's life. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But we got more testimony from this
An emotional testimony today in the Carmelo Anthony murder trial. We are one of the only.
So we got this. So you guys, they talk to. This just keeps getting worse and worse. And I want you. And I'm gonna put a poll in the comments. Do you think this brother is getting railroaded? That's my biggest question. When I play this clip right here, I'm gonna put a poll in the comments. Do you think this brother is getting railroaded? Or do you think this is just a horrible defense that they are waging on bro's behalf? Because I think it's the latter. This is not being railroaded. This is just incompetence that is rooted in the idea that racism is going to be a viable defense in a room full of white folks. Yeah, I killed your son, but if you send me to jail, you're a racist. And you're a racist because my white, ignorant, activist lawyer is saying you're a racist. This is bullcrap. It's not going to fly. This type of stuff does not fly in the real world. I'm sorry to say that. I know a lot of us, we want that fantasy. But the reality is this stuff is not going to fly in the real world. Let's go here.
And today it was an emotional day in court. Court just let out Cody Thomas from Court TV, one of the few members of the media actually witnessing all of this. So truly our eyes and ears inside a courtroom where we can't record, can't use audio, can't use video. So Cody, thanks for being here once again. There's a lot I want to get to, but let's start with the body camera video that was shown in court today. What did you see?
Yeah, Chris. So they came out of the gate with that. There were two different officers that testified. So we had two different angles of the body cam. But the first officer is actually the officer that made the arrest. He was an SRO. He's in his office and he gets the call there's been a stabbing at the stadium. So he's running out there, seeing what's going on. Of course, he's seeing the frenzy of students running in every which way. And then he's asking, where's the action at? Where am I going here? And he sees the north side of the stadium. So he gets over there and everyone's telling him, it's that kid, because these kids at Memorial High School did not have any idea who Carmelo Anthony was. But, he's in the gray hoodie, he's in the dark blue or the black sweatpants, and that they're pointing him out because one of the kids that testified, and we'll get to them, was following him while on 911. So they obviously saw this kid and he wasn't running outside the stadium. So anyway, the officer ends up approaching him. And the body cam comes on during the apprehension. So it wasn't on during, most of it, but when it comes on, we start seeing it there. And the thing about it, Carmelo actually, Chris, was cooperating. He was compliant. He was following orders. He was, respectful. What's your name? He's spelling his name out without the officer even prompting him. And he goes over and he sits him down, and then the officer cuffs him just to detain him.
Now, I want you guys to understand why it's important that the kids was testifying that they were saying, oh, it's that kid in the hoodie. It's that kid in the hoodie. They made it seem like Carmelo knew all these people on the team of Memorial High School. They made it in the beginning. Remember when it first broke out, a lot of the black people was like, nah, this guy, he know people from over there. He got a bunch of friends from over there. They made it seem like Carmelo was going back to the tent of a school that he used to go to or something, or he was very familiar with these people. If everyone's saying it's the kid with the gray hoodie, it's him right there, it's him right there, that means they don't know you. So if they don't know you, why the hell did you walk all the way over to their tent to sit down? They don't know you. And I'm black. I know my people. Black folks do not walk. We are probably one of the most, we are very welcoming hosts. I'll give us that. If you come to our house, we'll feed you. We'll give you something to drink. We might even pour you some liquor. But black folks don't show up to nobody's house just on a random. I'm telling you that right now. And we don't go up under nobody's tent on a random. We are the most outwardly antisocial people ever. We are hospitable. But we are not social butterflies. It's like Kevin Gates say, we are good friends, but we are not friendly. There's something else going on there, and I think bro low-key was, I don't know what bro was doing. Now, they say bro was over there trying to steal. And I'll tell you, theft is big at sporting events. And I'm sorry, but it's big among athletes too. We had incidents like that when I played football. I know a team that we played against where somebody stole a phone of a team member from the other team, and they coach told him unless that phone come up in 10 minutes, he gonna forfeit every game for the rest of the season. And then the phone came. So I don't know if bro was over there to steal, but the point is he shouldn't have had his ass over there. That's the whole point. Fooled me once, you're not gonna fool me again. Shout out to George Bush.
Before they even, take him off campus in the squad car down to the jail, any of that. But one of the most important things about one of these body cams, Chris, is the audio, because you hear they're walking along and the officer's kind of just doing some back and forth with them. And then you hear Karmelo say, he put his hands on me. I told him not to. And that's the part that the prosecution's harping on, the I told him not to part, because they're pretty much saying that part's a lie. Every account that we've heard so far in the reporting over the last year and some of the students today was just the whole touch me and see what happens. It wasn't don't touch me. It wasn't, if you keep your hands off me, we're cool. It was touch me and see what happens, making it sound more on the offensive. But when he said that statement, though, Chris, the whole I told him not to put his hands on me and all that, he was sobbing. The emotion was you heard it. You didn't see his face, but you heard it instantaneously. And so then a few minutes goes by, and then he seems a little bit calmer. Like you were just, high energy here, that high, sad energy, and then now you're calm and just, yeah, my name's Carmelo Anthony, and I'm a senior or what have you. But anyway, that was the important part of that statement. Now, another statement made that camera didn't pick up, but from the other officer who was there, who had, I don't know, a better audio on her camera, they radioed in, we have the alleged suspect. Karmelo then goes, it's not alleged, I did it. So there was an immediate admission, within 6 minutes of this stabbing happening. But the thing about it, Chris, and one of those body cam videos, the second one, you actually saw, they're going up there, scoping the scene and figuring everything out, talking to some of the students. You actually see graphic in nature, the chest compressions being done on what we now know to be Austin Metcalf's lifeless body. You saw a little blood around. You just see him just kind of, splayed out, and you hear a bunch of, the kids yelling out, that was my brother. They stabbed my brother. That's my best friend. And, all this different stuff. And we heard a 911 call made by the students. So we heard a lot of audio visuals today, Chris, very graphic in nature, real emotional. And, I'm sitting 2 rows behind the Metcalf family every single day. I could reach out and touch his father. That's how close he is to me. And, for the majority of the day, he's just holding his head in his hands, just taking in all the facts. I mean, he's been dealing with this for a year, but when you see, your son laying there lifeless, you hear 911 calls, you're seeing all the love and support that he was getting, from the friends and the coaches. So he was supported, but to what avail, because he's not here anymore.
Yeah, and to just think, because I know yesterday we were talking about the 911 calls and just how emotional that was, but then you have to actually see the chaos that was taking place as the body cam was playing. What was Karmelo doing in the courtroom?
That's interesting, Chris, because I was, I'm right here in the Metcalf camp, but I try to, keep my head on a swivel, not only to the jury, but over on that side of the courtroom as well. And it's just very stoic. It's just very, I don't know if the word emotionless is correct, because I'm sure they're feeling a lot of things, but maybe emotionless, not in a negative sense, but it just very, stale-faced. I imagine, Karmelo's sitting there, he's just looking. He's not moving around. He's not looking around the courtroom. He's not rocking his chair. He's just looking right at it, because I'm sure he's reliving, his version of what went down that day, and probably, regretting the biggest mistake of his life. And you're looking across at his family, and they're just taking that in. And I have to think about it from that point of view as well, Chris, because could you imagine your son, your brother, your nephew, this kid that you've seen grow up, and now he's being accused of these, the maximum crimes you could be accused of, killing someone. So they're over there just a little more stale, not in a negative sense, but just real cemented in, hearing what's going on. But of course, there's visceral, audible emotion on the Metcalf side.
Yeah. And I mean, again, like, you've seen this video, you wonder if the Metcalf family had seen that video before it being played in court, and just having to relive all of this. I know today too, that there were pictures up on the screen where we saw the alleged murder weapon. We saw this knife that was used to stab Austin Metcalf. Just what was your reaction seeing that, and then how it worked into what prosecutors are alleging? So
the big takeaway from the knife, Chris, is that it has a 3.5-inch blade. It looked like a heavy duty knife. It's not what I expected it to look like. You know, I'm sure you have too, plenty of different styles of pocket knives, but this one just looks like just one of the ones that won't break when you try to cut something. You know, the blade is not going to bend on this one. And it just left me wondering, why did you have, if you had any sort of blade, I don't know what it would have been for, maybe to cut some rope or what have you, but this one seemed a little bit excessive, but neither here nor there. But then they had, when they brought the knife up there, they had one of the officers come down and they did a little demonstration with it, because it's one of those folding pocket knives where the blade folds down into the handle. And before they did the demonstration, the prosecutor asked the officer, "You carry something similar like this at work?" And the officer was like, "Yeah, as a tool for cutting seatbelts, you know, and people get in car crashes and things like that. So it's a pretty heavy duty, sharp knife." But then they did the demonstration and they pulled it out, you know, normally like you would two-handed. But it has this thing on it, Chris, called a thumb stopper. And it's like a little thing that sticks off the side of the blade where you can just pick it out with one hand. Not to be confused with a switchblade, nothing like that, but just showing how fast you could, you know, just whip it out if you wanted to. And, you know, that's where the prosecution was alluding, like he already had his hand in the bag. You know, maybe he already realized what he wanted to do and pick a fight. So if and when Austin Metcalf shoved him in the shoulder, he just, you know, took it out really quickly. But yeah, the reaction to the knife, it definitely fits. It fits the prosecution's narrative. It definitely looks like one of those knives that could penetrate deeply if, you know, stabbed with enough force. But again, 3.5 inches, Chris, you got to realize, that's another part of it. On one of the body cams, we saw, you know, he threw the knife in the bleachers before he ran off. That's what we were hearing.
And that to me was the most damning part. He tried to hide the weapon. Then he tried to leave the stadium, to the point where one of the kids like had to follow him while they were on the phone with 911. It's like, you know, and I see even in the comments, people are like, well, if he was white, why do black people do that? On one hand, they'll call white people the most barbaric, savage people on earth. But then they'll claim moral superiority over white folks. Then when we behave in a barbaric way, our comparison, then we say, well, if white people would have did it, then it would have been like this. Well, if you're so superior to them, why would you even compare their behavior to your behavior? It was wrong to do. You could say what you want to about, if it was a white person or if it was a black person. Listen, it was wrong at the end of the day, whether white or black. And just like if it was a white person and they did it and they got acquitted and walked off, you'd have said, oh, hell no. That's the same way white folks gonna feel if this dude gets acquitted. This is barbaric. This is barbaric, yeah. Yeah, Azazel, is this barbaric? Yes, it's barbaric, bro. Somebody push you or shove you and you stab him in the heart with a knife? Come on, bro. Look, when you went to school, this is very simple. This is what you're taught as a black kid growing up. The first day your mama sent you to school, if someone hit you, finish the sentence. Hit them back. That's what your mom teaches you when you're young. If somebody hit you, hit them back. Your mama don't say if somebody hit you, get a pencil and stab and gouge their eye out. Your mama don't say if somebody hit you, kick them in the nads and reduce them to a balled up, put them in a fetal position in a corner because you just disintegrated their testicles with your boot. That's not our values. That is why when black people see other black people do crazy stuff like shoot up a neighborhood, we are appalled and taken aback. Because we all grew up being taught the same thing. If someone hit you, hit them back. Now if somebody is pulling a weapon on you, obviously you need a weapon to get them too, right? Right? What parent is walking around teaching their kids, if somebody put their hands on you or push you, stab them in the heart with a knife. And then people talking about a 3-inch knife is nothing, bro. 3 inches is long, dude. 3 inches is long. Just ask Gutter City Capo's girlfriend. I'm just kidding. But 3.5 inches on the knife, that's long. As long as y'all can say, oh, that's nothing. It sure got to that boy heart and killed him. Maybe if you got a bunch of fat on your chest like me, it won't get all the way there. But bro is not a super thick individual. Pause. You brought the knife and you ended up, guys, you brought the knife and you ended up stabbing somebody in the heart with it. That's like carrying a gun and somebody step on your shoe and you blow their head off. Stop it. Come on, guys. This is BS. This is BS.
About and, hit up in the bleachers, metal on metal, made a big clanking sound. One of the students told the officers where it was. And you see one of the officers walk up because he was kind of in charge of scene safety, scene security, making sure the evidence wasn't compromised. He looks down. He's like, I found it. And then he says on his body cam, oh, that still has blood evidence and bone evidence on it. It's one thing, we expected the blood naturally, but bone evidence, you couldn't really see it because it was raining that day. But I mean, in person, he clearly saw it for him to make that statement. So definitely a sizable knife there, Chris, when they showed that on the screen.
Cody, I think one thing that is also important to know is just how quickly all of this went down. It is, from what's been told by witnesses and some of the EMTs. I mean, Austin Metcalf may not have even realized that he had been stabbed in those moments. And it just kind of speaks to the chaos of everything. And I keep going back to that word chaos because that's truly what it was. And today, for the first time, we heard from some of the students, some of the teammates of Austin Metcalf who were there under this tent. There was like 5 or 6 of them who spoke, and there were some common themes to what they said. These are state witnesses brought by the prosecution. What were some of the things that stood out to you just on their account of what they saw that day?
Well, Chris, one of the main commonalities, the common denominators between them all is what you just pointed out, the speed at which it happened. All of them said that they didn't even realize what had happened because it had happened so fast. I mean, including Austin Metcalf himself. They said when the stabbing happened, they said they looked to Austin and he was just stumbling back and he just, was doing, a motion like this. And then he pulled his shirt up and that's when they saw the gaping wound. But not one of them said they even saw a knife. So that was one thing, Chris. The biggest commonality between them all is that they all said Karmelo was the aggressor. They all said they were sitting under the tent and he walks up and just sits under there. Didn't say anything really to anybody. One person said that he shook hands with another teenager there, but even when he did that, he just sat down and wasn't talking to anyone. Didn't ask, hey, can I sit here? Hey, what's going on? And of course, they kept diving into the tent culture, at track meets where each tent is pretty much alluded to as a locker room for each team, and you wouldn't hang out in the opposing team's locker room. And they also said their coaches didn't really allow it. If the coaches saw somebody from an opposing team, like Karmelo was from Centennial High School, sitting under the Memorial High School tent, that just would not have been allowed. So
everyone who plays sports, I don't care if you play Little League, know that is not allowed. So that's BS. I want to give you guys a visual of what a 3.5-inch blade knife looks like. So the blade here is a 3-inch blade, and then it's like a 2 or 3-inch handle, I guess. But this is not like a small knife. Like in the sense of like, oh, he just had a little Swiss Army knife. This is you can do something with this. You can hurt somebody with this. And you can read right there in the description on Amazon, Grand Way pocket knife for men, 3.5-inch sharp folding black blade, tactical knives with liner lock aluminum handle and clip for camping work. See, so these are heavy duty knives. They're not like, you're not going to like cut down a tree with it, but cutting rope, cutting leather, do it, anything like that, that's going to be ideal for this. And I think I could see this is what he's talking about with the little flip where you can flip it up on its own. But my thing is even the stab at the heart, though. That's the part that's crazy. Bro stabbed him at the heart. This is not basically a box cutter stop. We ain't in New York City where they got the razor blade. This is 3 inches, man. You could do a lot of damage with 3 inches, pause. But yeah, bro brought like a tactical knife. Yeah, it's not looking good for bro. What did you need that for at a track meet? Let me tell y'all, It's so crazy when you go to a track meet. Even the scissors that the EMTs have the little dull thing on the tip, so they can't even hurt nobody. Even the EMT scissors got the dulled edge at the tip, so they can't actually stab or cut or hurt nobody. This just a bad look. And what makes it a worse look is that we're defending this nonsense. Like I wouldn't have as much issue with this if black folks wasn't out here trying to paint this. If too many black folks, in my opinion, wasn't out here trying to make this guy out to be like this innocent victim. He's the victim now. The guy who woke up. Why didn't Austin Metcalf wake up and say, "Hey, I need to go bring me a knife to school"? It's all like, I don't want to say it's always us, bro, but dang, man, we be doing some dumb stuff. And why the hell didn't they family use all that money they collected to get a damn lawyer? A competent one. Because the prosecution basically got this in the bag. I don't know if you guys know this, but today, they continue to hold court today on a Saturday, which is crazy to me. They continue to hold court today on a Saturday, June 6th. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the prosecution has already rested their case. The prosecution is looking at this like, yo, this is an open and shut case. This is done. Mic drop. Bro got 3 days of trial. If I collected damn near $800,000, we gonna be in this bitch for months like OJ. We gonna drag this whole out for months. Everybody gonna get tired till they sick of talking about us. Till the jury say, all right, damn it, not guilty. We just want to go home, whatever. 3 days. $800,000 to earn your son 3 days of defense in a trial.
So all of them say, who was this kid? One described him as a random kid who just came down from the top of the bleachers, sat down. Questions started circulating like, who are you? What's your name? What are you doing here? And that's eventually when they say, Austin Metcalf stood up because he was looked at as a leader of the team, looked at as a team captain. He was the captain on the football team as a linebacker, and a lot of, there's a lot of translation between football and track athletes. So they're all kind of one big family. And they say he stood up, and all of them said that Austin started off calmly. Hey, man, what's going on? You shouldn't really be here. Just get off from under the tent. Not in any aggressive way. Everything was calm. And they said Karmelo was just like not responding, just saying no, or if you want me to move, you're going to have to make me move. Just, being real adamant about not leaving the tent. And so eventually they said Austin started getting a little frustrated. People, other people under the tent started getting frustrated. Others were chiming in. Some of the people on the witness stand, some of the students testified to that they were chiming in also. Like, what are you doing here, man? Like, and none of them said any cussing was going on. They asked specifically, were there any profanity, any cussing? They're like, not that I remember. So maybe it wasn't a nasty altercation, but just a frustrating one.
So it wasn't just Austin Metcalf asking this boy to leave. It was multiple people from the team like, bro, get the hell out of here. But they all said the same thing. And when there's like 23 people who testify and the vast majority of them say the same thing, right? That's where you have a problem on your hands. Because they were like, we all were kind of telling him to get the hell out of here, like he was causing trouble, saying like crazy stuff. They do have video of it. But they're all saying, he was like saying, he was talking shit basically. So they was all like, hey man, get the hell out of here. But then those kids said, yeah, and we just went back to kind of doing what we was doing. One of the girls said she went back to looking at TikTok. She said next thing she know, Austin on the ground, stabbed in the heart. I honestly do not believe these kids thought that this was going to escalate to this point. You understand? This is damning stuff. I want to go to this part right here because I low-key kind of see why the prosecution rest their case. Because if you really look at this situation, bro, the way they cross-examined these students, this boy is cooked. They examined a witness from Centennial High School. This is from the high school that Carmelo Anthony attended. Listen to what he said. So Court was adjourned for today, right? Court is adjourned for today. And it will resume on Monday, 9 a.m. And the prosecution has already rested their case. They feel like they've proven, everything they need to in this situation. But this is what they closed with at 4 p.m. The next witness is an 18-year-old former Centennial student athlete, right? Defense attorney Mike Howard asked him about track culture versus football culture. The witness said there are a lot more people at track meets and you can walk around. He said, if I had a friend there, I would hang there, and said that track is a lot more relaxed. He told jurors that he was never told not to go to other tents. He said he has been under the memorial tent before. On cross-examination, the prosecutors asked him if he were asked to leave another team's tent, would he? Yes, he replied. The prosecutor asked him, have you ever brought a knife to a meet? No, the young man said. So here's where we're wrong at. There was nothing wrong inherently with him going under the other team's tent, but he was asked to leave and didn't do that. Then he brought a knife. See, these are the things that normal kids aren't doing. One, bringing a knife to a track meet. Two, hey, somebody asked you to leave, just leave. You got, even if they, because I heard black folks, was they in charge of the tent? What was was Carmelo Anthony in charge of it? Because you don't know, the coach could have said, hey, Austin, you're in charge of this. Make sure nobody's messing around under here. We don't know what authority Austin Metcalf had within the tent situation. But he was the captain of the football team, and he probably was one of the captains of the track team. But what we do know is that Carmelo Anthony was not captain of nothing at Memorial High School and should have immediately left. He should have immediately left when asked by the students at Memorial to go. Right? But he didn't. Instead, he pulled out a knife and stabbed somebody in the heart. So then next, the defense called their next witness. And these are the witnesses called up by the defense. And this is what I'm telling you when I say these people are incompetent. The prosecutors are flipping your witnesses like flapjacks. You bringing these people up because you think that they're going to help you prove your case, and the prosecution get up and ask two questions. Boom, that witness is useless. That witness is now useless. So the defense's next witness was 17-year-old Memorial High School, was a 17-year-old from Memorial High School. He said it was his understanding is that one of the Memorial athletes who is friends with Carmelo Anthony called him over to the Memorial tent that day. The witness recalled telling investigators that Anthony said to Metcalf, nobody has a problem with you being here, but you. Oh, nobody has a problem with me being here, but you. He also told investigators last year in an interview that Metcalf said something to the effect of, I'll beat your ass, in a moderate tone. The witness told jurors Metcalf went up one row during the argument, which was one row below Anthony. He told jurors that Metcalf tapped Anthony on the shoulder while Anthony is seated with his hand in his backpack. The witness recalled Metcalf reaching out with both hands in a pushing motion. Oh, then they said the breaking news was like the state has rested the case. The defense has moved. So the defense moved for a directed verdict where the judge tells the jury to find this guy not guilty. The defense moved for a directed verdict, arguing that the state hasn't met its burden to prove every element of the crime charge. The state disagrees, and Judge John Roach denies the defense's motion. So the defense was like, they interviewed, cross-examined these people, and then they were just like, it's a wrap. We're done. So they interviewed everybody, and then they were like, we rest our case. Let me see. So the defense then called its first witness, Adam Linwood, a football and track coach at Centennial High School, where Carmelo Anthony was a student. Defense attorney Mike Howard asked the culture of track. Coach Linwood said the sport has hours of downtime. Does that lead to a more relaxed atmosphere at track meets? Yes, the coach tells jurors. Howard asked Coach Linwood about the policy of athletes not being allowed at other teams' tents. The coach told jurors he is unaware of any policy where athletes are not allowed under someone else's tent. He said his athletes have gone to other tents. Centennial's policy is to have a coach at each tent because they're teenagers. Howard is trying to counter testimony from prosecution witnesses that visited other teams' tents is generally not allowed. Howard asked why Carmelo Anthony's football senior year ended early. The coach said Anthony had a significant shoulder injury early in the season, and he wore an arm sling for a while. Howard asked why did Centennial have a tent at the track? Why didn't they have a tent at the track meet? Coach Linwood said they didn't have the manpower to put a full tent on the bus that day, and Centennial took a limited number of kids to the meet. On cross-examination, prosecutor Bill Werski also asked about Centennial's tent. The coach said a second bus was arriving with a tent for later. Werski, do you have any idea why Anthony was wandering around the bleachers? Coach Linwood, no, sir. Is there any reason a coach should have a knife? Answer, no. Werski picks up the replica knife and asks, this is not a cleat sharpener, right? Yes, the coach said. The state's next witness, oh my God, yeah. So you guys, I'll put the link to this if you want to go examine that, all that, but it really just looks like the prosecution is way more intelligent and way more they were more prepared. They're asking very, concise questions. They're asking questions that can only be answered with a yes or no. And remember, it's not the judge or me or you who's deciding who's going to find Carmelo Anthony innocent or guilty. It's the jurors. And even from just reading this, it kind of sounds like the defense is just goofy. Let me get to these super chats, guys. I want to see what's that boy name? What's his name? The rapper? I forgot his name. What's it? Willie D. Willie D is saying that this guy's getting railroaded. I don't think this guy's getting railroaded. I just think the Carmelo Anthony's family is just, they was ignorant. They got all that money and they didn't sink enough of that money into this boy's defense. Let's go here. Robert Vos, shout out to you for the $5 holler. He is guilty as F. Life via con Dios murder. Damn. Shout out to my boy Rob, man. Thank you for the $5. That's crazy. Via con Dios. It reminds me of King of the Hill. All gas, no brakes. Thank you, my brother, for the $20 holla in the building. Did you see the video by Brandon Jamal where he said the black man who was calling people crack was his stepdad? You mean selling people crack was his stepdad and that he's a deadbeat? No, I didn't see it. Was he selling them crack? I didn't see it, but I could 100% believe it. What video is that? Because I'll go there right now. Brandon Jamal. Damn, man. You could tell the dad was you could tell that these people are just, I don't know if they're a little slow or what, but man, Man, look, just by the way they mishandled this man trial, by looking at the people who they are allowing to represent their son, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't seem like these people are like very intelligent or like or that they're really concerned with the outcome of this case. If I have $800,000 in donations, I'm sorry. If it's my kid and I love him, at least $750,000 of that is going on lawyers. I want the Jewish lawyer, the high-powered Jewish lawyer who gonna walk in and got a couple favors with the who the prosecutor owes a couple favors, man. We gonna get a plea agreement. With that kind of money, we could have got a plea agreement. I'm telling you. With that kind of money, you could have got a plea agreement. A nice one. All right, 10 years, 7 years suspended, bro gonna do 3 years, and he gonna be 7 years on probation or on parole or whatever. You can do that. That is a very possible outcome when the people are this young. They were just trying to blow that boy money. Which Brandon Jamal video? I'm looking at all the Brandon Jamal videos. And he put that up a while ago. Is it this one? Isaiah's a liar. We already know that. Pastor brags about 2 abortions. If this racist was my stepdad. Let me see. Maybe it was a short. Not Megan. Did I mention? No, I didn't see bro's video. Damn. I got to follow my boy Brandon Jamal. I'm not subscribed to him. I am now. But yeah. Black folks is like, what? You mean racism is not a viable enough reason for us to kill? Because there was racist white people 100 years ago? We don't get to stab white people today? Shout out to my boy, All Gas No Brakes, for the $19 holla. I appreciate you, brother. L.A. Thorn the Martian, my brother's in the building. Brandon, what do you expect from a family who raised $600K, blew it on cars and a crib, and not a top shelf defense attorney, and went with a public defender? Exactly. Who also is a political activist in Texas. Come on, man. I'm sure it would have been a legitimate attorney who would have been happy to take your case for even $300,000. These people are not serious. D. Trey, I see this one. I got to put this one. You put your hands on anyone, expect the worst. Nah, bro. Come on. These are kids. We grown men. These are kids. I understand as a man, like, yeah, don't put your hands on nobody. But these are kids. Why are you so fast to come to a conclusion without knowing all the evidence or watching a video when it comes out? What video when it comes out, my son? What video, bro? I don't need all the evidence. This is the crazy thing. I'm not even arguing whether Carmelo Anthony is guilty or innocent. Because if the question is, did Carmelo Anthony kill Austin Metcalf? Yes. What we're really arguing is, was him killing Austin Metcalf justified? Was it justifiable? And I'm not even arguing whether it's justifiable or not justifiable. What I'm arguing is, look at the way these people are going about defending him. Look at the way the prosecution is more prepared. Look at the ignorance of the public defender asking people in Texas, how do they feel about illegal immigration, and using that as criteria for how he selects jurors. Look at the black people who refuse to get on the damn jury, because while they outside screaming and hooping and hollering that he's innocent, right? Oh God,
it's absolutely vital.
What the heck did I do?
The FBI files. Killer cases.
I don't know what that was, but look at the jury, the potential black jurors, while they hollering, ain't no black jurors. There were black jurors interviewed who refused to sit on the jury because they didn't want to, quote unquote, be responsible for sending a young brother to jail. What do you mean? That means the black people in that community or community know that the boy did it and that he's guilty. But even though with their big lips so big, chapstick had to make a spray ass lips, as much as they say justice for Karmelo, as much as they say Karmelo is being railroaded, in their heart of hearts, they know that the boy is guilty. Because if they didn't know he was guilty, or if they didn't believe he's guilty, all you need is one juror to disagree with the rest of the 12. Right? And guess what? The case can be a total mystery. It'll be a hung jury. They have to retry the case. That's all you need. They tried to give him a jury of his peers, and his peers refused to try him because they didn't want to have to lie and say, nah, we think he's not guilty. What do you mean? In my opinion, that's really all the evidence you need. Thank you for the $5 holler. I appreciate you, brother, for sure. It's good seeing you here again. HMSX6MG. The family, is this a license plate for a car? Thank you for the $2 holler. The family are hood boogers, unfortunately. Yeah. If the damn daddy's selling cocaine, he took that money and got a re-up. Stop playing. He just, man, it looks like Karmelo was raised. And let me tell you, you see how I keep almost calling Karmelo Austin? See, because I don't look at it as black and white. I just look at it as two kids who got caught up in a messed up situation. But one of the kids took it way too far. And it's unfortunate. And I would be happy if bro got 10 or 15 years with a suspended sentence on 10 or, 5 or 7, whatever, right? Bro got to sit down for a minute, though. He got to sit down for a minute. Because what he did, ridiculous. 15 times what? What is this? 15 times what? Tell me. Let's see. The family rented a secure home and spent the $500,000 donation entirely on legal fees, not luxury purchases, according to the platform and attorney. Man, I don't believe that BS. What on legal fees? They have a Come on, y'all. Let me see if Carmelo Anthony's. Hold on. Did Carmelo Anthony's family use a public defender? See, that's what I like. I like when y'all talking in the comments because we can then get to the bottom of this mess. Yes. Carmelo Anthony's legal team transition. Come on, family. God dang it. God dog it. This just keeps getting worse. Come on, y'all. What are you talking about? You was up here. I'm on you. I'm on your ass right now. I'm on your ass right now. Long Dixon. Pause. The family. He said that they rented a secure home. Bullshit. And then donated the entirety. And spent the $500,000 donation, which it was $800,000, entirely on legal fees. What legal fees? Bro, look. Carmelo Anthony's legal team transitioned to a court-appointed public defender after his initial private attorney withdrew. Although his family had raised over $500,000 in donations, Anthony filed for indigent status, which was approved by the court. Reason for change. His father stated the family could no longer sustain the cost of private representation. Come on, bro. The dope dealer. Citing financial hardship. Bro, what financial hardship? You can't get through a year or even 2 years of life on $800,000 and hire an attorney? You could have went to an attorney and been like, I will give you a flat payment, $300,000. I need you to take this case from beginning to end. They really only had to be in court for what? 4 or 5 days? Come on, y'all. That's why my stuff was glitching, because my computer is not plugged up. All right, we good. But guys, come on, man. This is just sad. Dominique Alexander, right? Ain't that the one who pulled out? The black dude? Pause. But come on, y'all. Let's see. Controversy. The shift drew public scrutiny because the family had recently increased their fundraising goal to $1.4 million while claiming poverty. Defense strategy. The public defender will now handle the murder trial, where the central argument is self-defense against the fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf. This is BS. This is BS. You can't get through 2 years of life as a family with $500,000 while paying your son's legal fees? You could have took $200,000 and told a lawyer, hey, you get $100,000 up front, and when the case is done, we're going to give you another $100,000. Any lawyer in Texas would have took that money. What you're talking about says it right there. And, man, look, I'm not spreading nothing, man. Look, I'll give y'all the link. Come up here and tell me where I'm spreading. It says it right there. I'm spreading lies. It says it right there. These people transitioned. They transitioned away from private representation. Bro, it was, man. It was 800,000. I remember. Because it was multiple GoFundMe set up. There were multiple GoFundMes set up. Hold on. I just typed all that. So this is what I'm finding right here at the moment. And I promise you, man, I know this is not the full amount because people won't tell you everything that they got. Carmelo Anthony's family raised approximately $540,000 through a Give Send Go fundraising campaign launched after he was charged with first-degree murder in the fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf. The campaign initially raised over $515,000 by late April 2025, with a goal that was subsequently increased to $600,000 and later to $1.4 million. And what I'm telling you is you only increase the goal once you've reached the goal. So they said bro raised $540,000. They raised it to $600,000. They clearly hit that. And then they raised it to $1.4 million by June 2025. Bro probably got $1 million, low key. Yeah, no, that's what they raised. They're saying here what they raised the goal to. 1.4 million. Bro, probably, I'm saying he got between 800,000 and somewhere between 800,000 and $1 million, because it clearly says that they reached 540,000 and then they increased the goal to 600,000. Why would you increase the goal from 600,000 to 1.4 million if you didn't get the 600,000? I'm telling you, bro, and I read somewhere else that they got 800,000. And then that was only Give, Send, Go. They also had GoFundMe. They had a bunch of stuff. And then they also had people just saying, oh, here, we just going to give you money. Here, would make direct contributions to you. The lawyer had set up a fund too. The other dude, the black dude. Trust me, man, they got like 800 to $1 million. Easy. And I don't think people gonna report everything. This could be, I don't know the details, but I'm telling you they touched at least 800,000. And I'm telling you, this is damn near a fact. I know for a fact they went past 600,000. Because for them to set it to 1.4 million, that means they reached 600,000. You're not going to set your goal higher if you ain't hit that goal. Y'all ain't even gave me 600,000. Let's go up to 1.5 million. They're not going to do that. They reached that money. So total, this is just by late June 2025, right? That was like damn near 6 months after it happened or whatever. No, it happened in April, I think. So just like a couple months after it happened, they got 540 immediately. And that right there is over the 500,000 that you were saying that they received. Yeah, Black Lives Matter unless it's your son. His attorney is a public defender. I looked it up. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. So let's look. This is a public defender, bro. Like, y'all get caught up so much in this terminology that's total BS. Listen. No, Carmelo Anthony is not represented by a traditional salaried public defender, right? So it's not just a guy, that he's sitting at the courthouse all day and then they give him a stack of cases. You represent these people. It said after his family raised approximately $500,000 through crowdfunding, Anthony filed for indigent defense to hire a private attorney paid by the county. That's the same thing, bro. Like, the public defender, the reason why the public defender sucks is because the public defender is not getting his money from you. So he doesn't give a whether you are found guilty or innocent, bro is gonna get paid, and it's not gonna be a lot of money. It's gonna be whatever the county gives him, right? So a lawyer gonna work harder for $300,000 than he's gonna work for the little hourly rate of like $80 an hour that the state's gonna give him, maybe even less, right? So whether it's a traditional public defender or not doesn't even matter. Your lawyer is being paid by the same county that's trying to prosecute your ass. He retained Dallas criminal defense lawyer Mike Howard, who was appointed and compensated using taxpayer funds because Anthony claimed he lacked the resources to hire private counsel despite the donations. Man, these public defenders are trash, bro. This is the same thing. I do not want my lawyer's check coming from the same people trying to put me in jail. Yeah, they spent the donations on Hennessy and Cadillacs and spinning wheels. This is BS. Let's look. Let's see what the average. So, so the average yearly salary for an attorney in Frisco, Texas is $113,000 per year, right? So that's the average. And so a court appointed or public defender is making anywhere from $96,000 to $113,000 per year. That's terrible. So you telling me you couldn't have found a lawyer who wants to make his yearly salary in a couple weeks? Because all you would have to do is look at what a lawyer makes in a year over there and say, look, I'll pay you double what you would make in a whole year to spend a couple weeks to, pick these jurors, give a defense for my son. Like, it made no sense. It made no sense how you touching damn near $800,000 and you couldn't bring $100,000 to the table to get a lawyer to represent your son. The case is already over. Come on, guys. Let's be real. Let's be real. That's why I called this one case closed with a question mark. The prosecution has already rested their case. Yes, he's not paid by Anthony, guys. He's paid by the court. Look, I just had it up here, y'all. Look. Let me see. Let me help. Let me bring it back up. Let me get myself out of here. Look, Anthony filed for indigent defense to hire a private attorney paid by the county. So his attorney, Mike Howard, is paid by the county. Dallas criminal defense lawyer Mike Howard, who is appointed and compensated using taxpayer funds because Anthony claimed he lacked the resources to hire private counsel despite the donations. Like, this guy is picked, so he didn't even pick his own lawyer. This kid didn't even get to pick his own attorney. But man, let me say this as we wrap this up. Could you imagine how bad you must feel? Could you imagine, and I'm right there with you, Attorney Tyke, parents sold their son. Could you imagine how Carmelo Anthony felt? He's an 18-year-old person. He's an adult at this point. He know that they done collected damn near $800,000 to $1 million on his behalf. He see them buying the damn crab boils and shit, what black people like doing. He see the Hennessy bottles in the new Cadillac with the spinning wheels and all that. He sees it. Could you imagine how shitty this boy felt when his stepdaddy, the dope dealer, said, yeah, fool, we ain't about to spend no money on no lawyer. You better tell the court you ain't got no money. We gonna go get a public defender. Bro knew he was cooked. He knew he was cooked. The same ones, man, and I'm telling you, this is what it means to be black. I'm black. This what it means to be black for a lot of black people. The same people claiming that they support you, they love you, and they believe you and believe in you, they selling your ass out faster than the white man that you think is a racist. You got black people whose claim that they believe that Carmelo Anthony is innocent. But then when they were asked to be on the jury, where they would have had the power to keep this boy out of jail. Nah, we don't want to be on the jury because we don't want to be responsible for sending a young brother to jail. Well, why would a young brother go to jail if you don't believe the young brother is guilty and you're on the jury? That was their admission right there. They believe he's guilty. They're just saying he's innocent because that's the trend. And like I constantly say, and I said it once and I'll say it again, we are just a bunch of trendy N-words. Whatever is the trend. The current trend is 60 instantly or some crap with some stupid gyrating in the push-up position. It's just dumb. Who's on it? Black folks everywhere. This is funny. We're just trendy. They don't say it. They don't say Carmelo's innocent because they believe he's innocent. They say he's innocent because it's trendy to say he's innocent. They didn't send the money because they believed he was innocent. They sent the money because it was trendy in that moment to send money. Then his family, this is self-defense. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. My son was defending himself. You believe that until it's time to hire that lawyer and spend a small fraction of what you've collected on this boy having a legitimate legal defense. The crab boils was tasting too good. There goes Carmelo's lawyer right there. The spinning rims was too shiny. Spinning, nigga. There go Carmelo's defense attorney right there. Dude, this kid got abandoned. This kid got abandoned. Let's be real. And let's see if the white folks is going to bring a civil case against the Anthony family the way black people would do if it was their kid who got killed. Let's see if 3 million pieces of silver, because we always, the price of a black life right now is about $3 million. That's what they usually give us when they slaughter one of our children, right? Let's see if they file a civil case against the family and say, yeah, we want some of that $500,000 you collect. They're not going to do that because they missed their son. Their son it's not just a meal ticket to them. They love that boy. And I'm sure Anthony's family love him to an extent, but they don't love him more than they love those crab boils. They don't love him more than they love them spinning wheels and them bottles of Hennessy. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Like, y'all know I'm not capping. Don't matter. It don't matter. It's a caddy. Caddy's never gonna. But yeah, you didn't collect damn near $1 million on this boy's behalf, and he can't even afford a decent lawyer in a state where in an area of the state where the average lawyer's salary is only $100,000 a year. You got people in California driving a trash truck making more money than that. All gas, no brakes. Sookie. What up, brother?
Yeah, I want to make sure I cleared up what I was saying earlier. What I was saying was Brandon Jamal made a video about the guy who was in front of the courthouse calling people, I don't want to say the word because I want your page flag, crack. That he was
cracker.
Yeah, that guy who was in front of the courthouse is a BLM activist, so they are involved somehow. But he made a video about that guy being his stepdad and how he's like a scammer. So I mean, you already know when it's 2026 and he's out in front of the courthouse screaming that word like he's Dolomite. Like, right. like something about it already right off just doesn't seem right. It's almost as bad as the fake was a fake Black Panther a couple of months ago. These people keep coming with these hustles where they're trying to like make money off of these racist situations. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous, man. It's so damn sad.
That's what I would, because in the chat they were trying to figure out what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
All right, thank you so much, my brother. I don't know why I'm having a problem bringing people up like visually, but thank you. I appreciate you. You got anything else you want to add?
No, that's all.
Thank you.
You're on point about everything you're saying about this trial, but it's just sad to see prominent people like Willie D and Tariq, like they see the information that's coming out. They can't accept the fact that the brother's guilty. Like you said, it's not an issue of if he killed them. Is it justified? Is it manslaughter? That's where we at this point. They're still trying to, deny. They're still in denial, basically. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look at this dude, Long Dixon. He's in denial. Because Mike Howard is operating as a retained private defense lawyer in this case, his fees are completely funded through private means rather than public. Bro, shut up, man. You sound dumb. We just read that he's paid by the county. We just read that the family filed indigent, which means they don't have
the money they raised. They could have retained a law firm.
Bro, they could have retained a whole law firm easily.
Yeah.
If they would have spent $100,000 or $200,000, they would have had probably the top lawyer in the area defending them.
Yeah. All right, man. I got to get back to driving. I'll talk to you.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right, but yeah, hey, shout out to my truck drivers too. I always got to show love to them, or my Uber drivers or whoever's listening. Bro, shut up. I ain't Googling nothing else. Let's bet. Put some money up on it. You probably put some money up on them sorry ass Spurs too. Man, look. Somebody wanted to bet me $500 that the Spurs was gonna beat the Knicks. I said I don't even want to. I said I don't even want to take your money. I don't even want to ruin our friendship because I know you ain't gonna pay me. Man, Wimby sorry ass can't handle Big Cat, bro. Cat punked that fool. Look, I'm all off this shit. We ain't talking about basketball. We talk about Karmelo. But Karmelo is using a county-funded attorney after his family collected damn near $800,000 to $1 million in donations. This is crazy to me. This guy has to feel totally betrayed. That family would not have even touched no bread like that in their lifetime if it wasn't for him. This is sad, man. This is sad. Very sad. He's using the equivalent of a public defender. I'm going to show it again because Dixon, he going to keep talking. I don't care. This is the facts right here. Is Carmelo Anthony's attorney a public defender? Defeater. No, Carmelo Anthony is not represented by a traditional salaried public defender. After his family raised approximately $500,000 through crowdfunding, this is approximately, that's not the exact number, because we already confirmed that they went to $540,000 in 2 months, then put it in for $600,000, then put it in for $1.4 million. I'm telling you, they touched between $800,000 and $1 million easy. Anthony filed for indigent. Is it indigent? Oh no, it's indigent defense to hire a private attorney paid by the county. It is a private attorney that is paid by who? Carmelo Anthony's family? No, paid by the county. He retained Dallas criminal defense lawyer Mike Howard, who is appointed and compensated using what? Carmelo Anthony's GoFundMe money? No, taxpayer funds, because Anthony claimed he lacked the resources to hire private counsel despite the donations. Come on, y'all. I know one word, ignorant, and that's what Dixon is. Ignorant. Don't want to see the facts in front of his face. Actually, to be ignorant means you don't know. You just delusional, because here are the facts in front of your face and you still keep on trying to argue that this boy is somehow he's paying for his representation. No. His family took his money. They bought spinning wheels. They bought Hennessy and they bought crab boils. That's what they did with that boy money. And then told him, nigga, you on your own. Bro gotta feel like absolute shit on a shingle right now. They used him. My boy earlier said they sold their son. Damn, bro. Damn, boy. Carmelo, if you ever see this, dog, you stabbed the wrong people, dog. You should have stabbed that no good ass daddy of yours. You should have stabbed that no good ass daddy of yours, bro. You hit the wrong nigga. Give me the ooh-wop. For real. Oh my God. Woo. I'm not going to lose no sleep over this shit, but that's fucked up. Sorry, I don't mean to cuss, but damn. You got the millie because of me, and you can't even drop $200K on the lawyer? You can't even drop $200K on the lawyer. I remember I had my legal situation when I was young. Yeah, the lawyer was talking about 10,000. Man, we walked in that bitch with 4,000. And he folded like origami. I'll take care of everything, Mr. Tucker. If a $10,000 lawyer folded and took 4,000, I know a lawyer that's making $113,000 a year would have did backflips for 200,000, 100,000 up front, and then 100,000 when the case was over. And bro only got to be in court for 4 or 5 days. This case is over next week, Monday. They've been in there since what, Tuesday or Wednesday, and the case is about to be over. Bro, $200,000 for what amounts to what? Not even 80 hours of work? It's not even a week of actual work. He won't see this. Most people won't see it. You're a liar because my boy Donnie is going to chop this up into reels. And everybody's going to see it. What? My live yesterday reached 4,000 views. You a hater, bruh. What you mean, man? I got views, shorty. I got views, shorty, views. Hey, nah, I'm not going to lie to y'all, though. I'm still trying to figure this situation out. Hey, I'm doing way better than I was doing. I was struggling. Hey, by the way, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button if you haven't already. Evil Bunny, he was railroaded? Yeah, by his own family. He was railroaded by his own family. That's who railroaded, bro. They took bro donation money, spent it on Hennessy, spinning wheels, and crab boils, and left bro with a public defender. That's still so disrespectful. You know what's crazy? No one's actually bringing that up. No one's actually bringing that up. Hey, this is the guy who got all the views. The Black Authority. Because he's going to, people want confirmation. They don't want truth. People come to social media for validation. That's why I appreciate this audience, because y'all actually care about whether it's true or not. Most of our folks only care about one thing, validation. We seek validation wherever we can find it. And if you are a person who loves the truth, you'll get that validation here. That's where you're gonna get that validation. Real quick, I wanted to. Oh yeah, let me see. Man, don't ever say I don't got views, son. That was disrespect. Ooh. Let's see what my boy Greg Foreman said about this situation. Bing, 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 bing.
Well, happening this morning, a jury is going to be returning for day 3 of a high-profile murder trial underway in Dallas's suburb of Frisco, Texas. Carmelo Anthony is accused in the fatal stabbing of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet. The 19-year-old has pleaded not guilty, and News Nation's Leah Lando is here now. You can get us up to speed on everything that jurors have heard and what we can expect. Of course, this is a very racially charged story.
Right, and very emotional day in court, as you can imagine. Jurors expected back in court this
Y'all
morning
hit the
as
like
testimony
button. I need
resumes
it.
in the murder trial of
Hit the
Carmelo
super chat
Anthony.
button too.
Friday,
$5
jurors heard
challenge.
emotional
I need
testimony
that
from
too.
first responders,
Buy me a coffee.
police, and witnesses who were at the track meet where prosecutors say Anthony fatally stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Investigators say the two teens went to different schools. They didn't know each other before this incident. Prosecutors say that happened under a team tent when Anthony stabbed Metcalf in the chest. Metcalf later dying at the hospital. Anthony was arrested and charged with murder. A Memorial High School track coach testifying that a team tent serves as a school's designated area during competition, so they compared it to a team bench in other sports. And he told jurors, quote, "You just don't go into someone else's tent uninvited. A Frisco firefighter paramedic testifying that when he arrived, Metcalf had no pulse and appeared gray. Jurors also watching body cam video from school resource officers who responded to the scene that day. And one officer testifying that after Anthony was taken into custody, he heard him say, quote, "I'm not alleged. I did it." In another video, Anthony can be heard saying, "He put his hands on me. I told him, don't put his hands on me."
Boy, oh boy, oh. Hand in the bag. They're going to get him on murder, right?
Yeah, this dude is totally cooked. I don't know. Greg is trying to cover the whole damn story. But I do want to go to the Willie D situation. Willie D is killing me with the pause. Ooh, that was bad. Willie D is he's killing me with this, man. Man. Why do we? But you know, it's entertaining. It's entertaining. How this this dude is like remedial to me, basically. This guy has 1 million subscribers. He's consistent as hell. I'll give you. But this guy is over here saying that Karmelo's getting railroaded, and then he's following this this idea that Karmelo's prosecution is getting killed. And I'm telling you, listen, these type of titles, they are like printing money. Carmelo Anthony's prosecution gets obliterated in second day of trial. But everyone knows that that's not happening. Everyone on earth knows that that's not happening. Let's see what he's saying. But hey, everyone who wants to feel like Karmelo is about to walk out of here not guilty, they gonna click that because fantasy is what they want, but reality is what they need.
Austin Metcalf was fatally stabbed by then 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony during a track meet in Frisco, Texas. It was all upon himself, but he wasn't alone. He did not act alone. His brother, Hunter, is not innocent in all of this. Because according to a staff member who actually viewed the video, they watched the video in court, the staff member said that, first and foremost, that the clarity of the video is remarkable. He emphasized that the surveillance footage was incredibly clear, noting you could distinctly see individual raindrops on the camera. Now,
See, this is the retarded stuff I can't deal with. You can see raindrops on the camera. Well, yeah, the raindrops are extremely close to the camera. It don't just rain in one area. It rains right in front of the camera, far away from the camera, middle of the distance from the camera to the person. On top of that, everybody knows that they said it looks pretty clear when you're far back, but then when you try to zoom in to where you can make out like more than just individuals and to see if you could make out people getting pushed, whatever, it gets very blurry. That's like when you use like when you zoom in on your cell phone. When you far back, you can see it pretty clear. So, as soon as you start zooming in, you start losing definition. You start losing the detail goes to blurry. The closer in you zoom from if you're at a distance.
Friends are saying that Carmelo started the fight. Obviously, they would say that, right? They're his friends. And I may get into a little bit of what one of the friends said who testified in court. But what I want to focus on right now is that video and the staff member's comments. That staff member said that Metcalf initiated the physical contact with a push. Anthony retaliated with a hit, and everybody swung. So not just Austin, who was identified as a bully, not just his brother Hunter, who was identified as a bully, everybody swung on Carmelo that was under that tent. And check this out, fam. The staff member said that you could see other students for Memorial High School watching out for the coaches. So they're looking out as the fight is happening and as it's escalating. Austin's friends are looking out. Now, why are they doing all of this? What are you looking out for if you're innocent? That makes no sense to me. So, and the staff member also said that Hunter, the surviving twin brother, was directly in the middle of everything. He was in the middle. So, and he also said there is nowhere on that video that shows that Hunter tried to render first aid. They lied. They tried to make it seem like Hunter was the hero and that tried to save his twin brother and he just couldn't save him. That, according to the staff member, was a lie.
Yeah, so everything Willie is going to say is going to be, oh, the staff member. Didn't they already prove that the staff member was lying already? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do you and Willie D a favor. We're actually going to just say, freak it, and we're going to go to the kid that they say actually knew Karmelo, who was under the memorial tent, right? There's a kid who knew him, and then he also knew Austin Metcalf. So that's the kid. Remember when they said he shook hands with a kid? That kid actually testified. So if that kid is friends, everybody, they was screaming at the top of their lungs, he's Carmelo's friend. So let's see what Carmelo's quote unquote friend had to say about the situation.
Developments in the track meet stabbing trial. In an unexpected move on this rare Saturday session of court, the state rested. The defense is now calling witnesses. Carmelo Anthony is charged with murder in the death of Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet in April of last year. Our senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez is covering this trial from us from the Collin County Courthouse. She joins us live right now. So walk us through what happened today. A lot, Rebecca.
There was a lot that happened today, and it was surprising that the prosecution did rest its case after the jurors heard from more student witnesses. They also heard from the medical examiner, and they heard from one of the students that was under that memorial tent that was both friends with Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony. And what it showed us today is that sometimes witnesses can really remember the same event very differently, and while they generally agreed on what happened, the details widely varied. Now, one of the most anticipated witnesses was that student who knew both Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. He testified that tensions escalated after Anthony was asked to leave the memorial team tent. He told jurors Anthony became angry, challenged Austin to move him, and appeared to be provoking a confrontation before Austin put his hands on him. He described Austin falling backwards, lifting his shirt, and yelling that he'd been stabbed. He also said he and Carmelo Anthony were not good friends. But on cross-examination, the jury was shown photos of the two together at parties, social gatherings, and at a track meet weeks before the stabbing. This was in an effort to show that they were much closer than the witness acknowledged. And then when asked why he didn't intervene, he said he really didn't know, and why he didn't tell his teammates that he knew Anthony to calm everyone down.
I think you understand that they're still young, and it's just like anything with time. You're sometimes going to get some discrepancies within what they said. You listen for what are those big key elements or those big key points that someone's going to make, and whatever it is that they say, have they veered or varied off of that?
And the defense called its first witness a Centennial track coach who testified that there were no real rules that no one could go into another team's tent. He says it's very relaxed at track meets, and they often go into other people's tents. He also said that they did not have a tent that day when it was rainy because they did not have the manpower. And he also said that they always have a coach inside that tent because they know that sometimes there is a confrontation, there could be confrontations between students. And the defense is trying to show that they didn't understand why Memorial's players were so intent on not having somebody under their tent and why there was not a coach there supervising them, Teresa.
Rebecca, before we let you go, just a couple more questions. I think a lot of people expected that Austin's twin brother, Hunter Metcalf, would testify. So why didn't prosecutors call him before they arrested?
Well, Hunter Metcalf has not been inside the courtroom because there is a rule that potential witnesses cannot listen to other testimony. And so he has not been in the courtroom. But our legal expert believes that perhaps the state is waiting to call him as a rebuttal witness after the defense finishes its case.
And then one more thing. I know that.
Okay, so they've rested their case, the prosecution. They feel super confident in I really believe the testimony of the kids are going to be enough to sway the jury. Because the kids are like, we don't really know this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that one kid who shook his hand is like, I don't know him. And then they're like, oh, but there's pictures of him at parties, bro. It's a, like, small town, like, area. Kids going to be at parties together, taking pictures, doing whatever, right? But this kid basically disowned, bro. So he's cooked. I want y'all to do me a favor. Let's do this. Because we know bro is done, and I'm going to keep giving updates. I'm going to update you guys again tomorrow at 12. We're going 12 from now on. I just had some stuff to do today. Do me a favor. Let me ask for a favor from my audience to see if y'all really supporting this come up. I'm putting a link in the comments right now. If you click this link, this brings you all over to our landscape presentation. That's the one that's going to drive the algorithm the hardest. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take the 4,000 or 5,000 views I get in portrait mode. I'm trying to get that over to the landscape experience. Click this link. If you guys all come over to the landscape experience, please, I'm asking you, I will right now cover this situation where these ignorants, as I call them, are talking about boycotting Asian businesses because of the Rick Chow, Cyrus Belton situation. Do you guys want me to cover this ignorant ass let's boycott Asian businesses? Here we go again. Here we go again. If you do, please click that YouTube link in the comments right now. It's there. I'm going to put it there again. Click this link and come over to the landscape. The link is in the comments, y'all. Come over to the landscape experience. You can put it up on your TV, whatever. Click that, John. I'm going to come over and I will switch to that. We will do that topic because I was going to end it, but I'm seeing right now it's a bunch of people covering it. And it's like, I was going to wait till tomorrow, but hey, why not? Also, guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button as you come in. Are we boycotting Asian businesses because Rick Chow killed Cyrus Belton? Because if that's the case, we must be boycotting black businesses for black on black crime, because them the businesses that's been boycotted for decades. Let me know. Let me know. Hit that link though, guys. Hit that link in the comments right now. Come through. You about to boycott the Chinese food store. You's a liar. You's a liar. You's a damn liar. Right, Miss Berry. Black people always telling people what we about to do. Boy, they see, listen. They can see us coming. But guys, just do me that solid. That's all I'm asking. Please just click that link that's in the comments right now and come on over to the, because y'all about to explain this to me. Y'all about to explain this to me, how y'all about to boycott the Chinese store. Please tell me how y'all about to boycott the Chinese store. I would love to know. I'm like Ricky Martin. I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, because I need to know. We about to boycott Ken over there on Walnut and Anaheim. This is wild, bro. I love my people. I love all people, but black folks got a certain seasoning to them of ignorance that makes everything a little bit more spicy. Black folks got the seasoning of ignorance, a lot of us. And the shit is comical as hell. Let's see if we can find something good about this boycott. The boycott is crazy. I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. I knew we was gonna be here talking about we're boycotting Asian businesses. And I want you to tell it. See, because Asians aren't doing business like, say, Target, big box stores and stuff. No, they're doing like little mom and pop shops, right? So, this is way harder. This is way harder. And all of our boycotts, they fell miserably. I'm going to be real with you. All of our boycotts fell miserably. Hold on. Blacks boycott Asian businesses. All right, we locked in on this now. This is funny. This is freaking... Oh, yeah, see, this is the one. Okay, this is the one I saw on TikTok where bro was like... Yeah, because I got my tuxedo. I mean, my suit. I got my suit over at the Asian right now. I ain't boycotting shit till I get my suit back, and I ain't boycotting anyway. So, cause some young punk. All right, let's go. We in here.
I love when the black community says, let's boycott Asian businesses. Please do. We'll get rid of the Chinese takeout, the dry cleaners, the laundromats. Let's get rid of the liquor stores as well. Get rid of the Jordans you guys wear, the Nikes you wear, the shower caps, the Hondas, the Hyundais, all your car electricians, the electronics in your house, the Sony, the TV system, your sound system, the microphones that you guys use to rap and speak about awareness for the black culture and the hip hop culture. Where do you think that's made in? That's made all in Asia. And here's another thing for you guys. You guys want us to leave the neighborhood so bad? Oh, Asian people are not neighborhoods? We're in white neighborhoods. We have our own Chinatown. We have our own Koreatown. You think we really need you guys to benefit off and make money? A lot of us do go to college as well. You're being outworked by immigrants who barely speak English. And you're not embarrassed? Go to the bank, start your own businesses, and deal with your own people. I want to see your own women get on their hands and knees and do pedicures and manicures and deal with nasty-ass attitudes, okay? Please, boycott Asian business. I'm all for it.
A lot of stuff we have to...
Hey, bro cooking. Bro cooking. He's... listen, the Asian has a unique relationship with the African American because Asians are one of the few groups who will enter into the black community and actually do business. How many white people do you see owning liquor stores and stuff in black communities? Dry cleaners, mechanic shops, anything like that. The Asian and the Mexican, even black people, many times refuse to do business in the black community. They do. Look at this. Look at this. Already we starting with ignorance, y'all. No, they don't. Come on, man, bro. Clean bass. You gonna be a liar your whole life? I'm putting the link in the comments because I'll give you $100 if you prove to me that Asians don't do business in the black community. StreamYard link is in there. Listen, bro. Asians are one of the few groups, Asians, Arabs, and Mexicans. Those are the only three groups who will enter the black community and do business, bro. There's a reason Rick Chow owned the store in that South Carolina city where it's 50% black. It's less than 1% Asian. It's 50% white, 50% black, and only an Asian was brave enough to do business in that area with those black folks. Let's be real, because we won't do business with each other. We won't do business with each other because we know what comes with it. We know what comes with it. You'll be having Rick Chow every week if blacks was doing business with blacks everywhere all over the America, in the hood and stuff. Y'all think, black folks think lying, like we want to say what feel good as opposed to talk about what's actually true. I don't think Asians are even racist. They're just like, give me my money. They're not trying to play games with you. And let me tell you, you already a loser when it comes to claiming you're going to boycott Asian businesses. And we all know why.
So I just had customers come in and say that we need to make some content because people are asking for Black-owned businesses. I don't have no content ideas, so I'm just going to show you the store. So we are Personal Treasures Beauty Supply Store located in Greensboro. We are Black-owned. It's my granddaddy and grandparents own the store.
This is Karen at Grand's Beauty Supply. Our address is 2670 Highway 155.
Word on the street is that we are now boycotting beauty supply stores in the nail salons.
Wow, Guru, looks like the boycott is real, but keep watching.
Hey, y'all, Black Nail Tech over here. I'm just saying.
Y'all are really taking advantage, advertising all of y'all businesses.
Either Black-owned supplies, Loganville, Georgia. Come check us out.
Black-owned beauty supply alert.
But there's a catch. What group of people do you think all these stores are getting their inventory from?
Asians.
I told y'all it's impossible for y'all to escape Asian businesses.
Cindy, you just literally told me I cannot come anymore because of my skin. I've been a member for how long?
I talk to you with respect.
And how have I not been respectful, Cindy?
I'm sorry. Do you know I have the right to refill the service?
You know, I am not going to force you to do anything.
No more toenail, no more hair, no more wax.
This woman is almost in tears because Cindy is telling her she can't come back. And she's like, you told me I can't come back because of my skin. Well, I would have been like, fuck you too, and left. She's crying. She has an intimate relationship with Cindy over her big moose knuckles freaking getting done in her shop. Girl, there's a million Asian nail techs all over the place, and they'll be glad to take you if Cindy don't want you. You're never going to boycott Asian businesses because Black women are tied by the neck to Asian businesses. Whether it's a weave, somebody who gonna dust they crusty ass cuticles, manhandle they freaking crusty ass feet, whatever it is. That is a part of Black female identity to go let yourself get rubbed on by an Asian woman. Let's be real. This woman was damn near crying.
You know, ain't nobody learned. They still in here supporting them. Look.
So I just had customers come in and say that we need to make some content because people are asking.
They not gonna stop. Come on. Yeah, Target and all that. Target, you got Walmart. Target, you got Walmart. You know what I'm saying? You got Kohl's. You got some other options. What other group of people is about to deal with your crusty ass heels?
Asian American businesses have been operating in Black communities for 60 years. I'll say it again. The Civil Rights Act passed in 1964, and the United States opened the door to Asian immigration in 1965.
Oh, this is the Asian lady who's an apologist to Black ignorance, and so all the Black people love her. Asians been operating in the Black community. Well, you know what was operating in the Black community before Asian businesses? Black businesses. And Black folks was so happy to leave their own businesses to go buy from whites, Asians, and everybody else. So guess what? They took over the market. Now they're telling people, inconvenience yourself to boycott these businesses. And I could probably avoid Asian businesses if I really wanted to, which I don't. But I could. But why would I when I know that there's an army of Black women who are going to be like, bump that. Girl, I need to go get my nails did. Bump that. I got to go get my hair did.
Boycott Asian businesses. Look, I know many people are angry. They think justice needs to be served. So they want to boycott Asian businesses. I know emotions are high, and if this is how you think there's going to be some justice, okay, I'm okay with it. But then when does it end? When is it, okay, we've boycotted Asian businesses enough, justice is served, now let's move on. I just personally don't think this is the solution. If anything, it produces more tension, creating some unnecessary race war. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Asian business owners that are like, what happened? Where's all my black customers? They're just trying to make a living. They're just trying to make money. Now, what's the answer? I don't know. If you have any productive recommendations, please comment below. But personally, I just don't think boycotting Asian businesses achieves anything.
Listen, these people are so calm. This is the definition of being unbothered. They know that your kids depend on their $5 fried chicken wing and rice combo because your lazy ass don't never want to cook because you always trying to run outside. They're not worried about you because they know you will break down and go up in that donut shop at the end of the day. They know you're going to go to that. When you trying to slide and get over there so you can get to the dick, you going to hit that Asian store to grab that hen dog. You ain't going to be thinking about no boycott. This is not Target, a place that many black people abandoned years ago to go to Walmart because everything is a quarter cheaper. Come on, y'all. It's BS. And the more we do this type of stuff, the more we show people we don't really want to be a part of society. We want to try to dominate over you in any way possible. Black folks want somebody to beg them. That's the reality. And nobody's begging you because you don't have any type of leverage over anybody. That would force them to beg you. You just don't have the leverage. And then you get these people on social media who do nothing but exploit you because they know you're hyper emotional. Somebody in the comments was like, you're running away from the story that this Asian lady was gonna tell. Listen, bro, this is Defiant Brandon channel. I don't run away for nothing. I'll let this heifer tell the story. She's manipulating you. Just like that white lady who gets up and tries to, quote unquote, teach white people about racism. They're exploiting you because it gets them clicks and views, which makes them money. She don't give a damn about nothing you going through. If she saw you on the street, she wouldn't even talk to your ass.
Businesses have been operating in black communities for 60 years. I'll say it again. The Civil Rights Act passed in 1964, and the United States opened the door to Asian immigration in 1965 to put immigrants in the way of black people. And this idea that the tension between business owners and customers is one of mutual cultural misunderstanding that could be overcome if they just got to know each other better, the time for that has long passed. And as I've said before, the problem with framing the misunderstanding as mutual is where one demographic owns the businesses and the other demographic has to pay. There's no mutuality. There is a power imbalance. The only situation that
So here she is lying to you because she says one community has to pay. The other community, bro, you don't have to do shit. There is nothing stopping you from opening a store and selling every single thing these Asian people sell. They're there because you are too lazy to do that business. You don't want to work for the margins that they live off of. Because really, you don't know the margins that they live off of. But in your mind, it's like that work is beneath you. What black person want to sit up in a store 16 hours a day? Well, then you wouldn't be able to go to the club. What black child wants to sit behind the counter at their parents' business for 8 hours when they in damn middle school? None. So it's not a have to. That's the beauty of America. You don't have to do shit. That's why you got so many people laid up on the street in tents. Because you don't have to. They do it because that's what they are willing to do to make money. So this idea that somehow they are victimizing you by opening up their door, putting products in a store, opening up the door and putting a sign that says open. Just because it says open doesn't mean I have to go in there. I don't drink. I've never drank in my life. By my house, there's a bunch of bars. Never even been in none of them. They're not oppressing me because I don't have to go in there. I like coffee. Buy me a coffee. Hit the super chat button, buy me a coffee, $5 holler. Because I'm making my own right now and I don't like that much. But look, I like coffee. So I choose to willingly walk into the coffee shop that used to be owned by an Asian, now it's owned by an Egyptian or whatever this ugly motherfucker is. And guess what? Great coffee still, I go give him my money. He's not forcing me, and he damn sure ain't oppressing me. Because if I really got an issue with, bro, I could, 1, make it myself. 2, go to the white man coffee shop right here. Go to the black folks coffee shop up in Inglewood. There's another coffee shop that just opened in Lakewood, black owned. I could go up over there. But this idea, black people always send somebody oppressing them. And that's why we're so mentally weak as a culture. Because everything is oppression. Everything is someone trying to do something to me. Now, I'm not going to go into how I think that's caused by being raised by single mothers. Because women somehow in their mind, no matter what you do, you're doing something to them, even if you're not doing it. But hey, we're not beating up on the women tonight. We love them. But women, when you raise your kids, raise them like my granny raised me. Don't nobody owe you shit. And if you don't like the service that you're receiving at this place, go somewhere else. Protest with your feet. Now, that's what black folks are saying they doing, but it's a lie. They just talking that ish because they know they're not really going to do nothing. So on the internet, they go to the internet and say it because it makes them feel good. Let's keep going. Let this Asian lady keep telling you how her people are superior to you because they selling you stuff.
Could see being beneficial at this point would require Asian Americans to be willing to leverage their ability to secure the business loans, to secure supplier accounts, and to attain business licenses, to open in black communities specifically to hire black people to work in the businesses and to provide the professional development opportunities so that black people can become the leadership in the businesses in their communities.
Excuse me, Chun-Li. Black people were the leaders in the businesses in their community. And as soon as white people desegregated businesses, black folks said, via con Dios, black-owned businesses, I'm going to go shop with these white folks. And then later on, by default, these Asian folks. Black people could not wait to stop shopping at black businesses. Let me tell you how I know this is true. Y'all, we all live in the world. We live in the world, the real world. Wait, hold on real quick. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to bother my daughter real quick just to make this point. I'm going to bother my daughter to make this point. Hold on real quick. I'm going to detach this real quick. Damn. Man, anyway, I got this on. I'm too strong for my own good. Hold on, let me see, guys. I'm going to try to get this off so you guys can hear what she says. Oh, can't get it off. Oh, well, you're just going to have to talk loud. Okay, listen. Let me ask you a question. What is your favorite store to go to?
I don't necessarily have a favorite store.
Just a store you like to go to. Any store you like to go to. Target, Ross, food place. What's your favorite store to go to?
Aeropostale.
Okay, you like Aeropostale. What else? What's your favorite food place?
Let's just say Jack in the Box.
Church's Chicken. I think your favorite place is Church's Chicken. What's your favorite place? Jack in the Box?
I don't have a favorite place.
Mastro's. You like 555? Okay, any place. Steak. Okay. Just answer this question for me. And y'all can answer this question too. Which one of those places are you willing to get bit by a damn big ass German Shepherd for the ability to walk into?
No place.
A dog is in front of this place. And in order to go in this place, you got to not only let this dog bite you on your ass, there's also police officers. They're going to beat the shit out of you and they're going to shoot you with one of those water cannon things, just knock the shit out of you. Are you willing to endure all that to go into any place to eat or buy clothes?
No. I'll collect that check, though. Why are they doing that?
If they do that. But if you had to choose between getting your ass whooped to go in this store or just going to this store and you ain't got to get no ass whooping, you going to go to the store where there's no ass whooping.
Go somewhere else.
You just go somewhere else. Okay. Thank you. That's all I needed. Thank you so much. Okay. In saying this, she's revealed the truth. Black people got they ass annihilated bit by dogs, shot with water hoses, shit, killed, lynched, all that, just for the ability to leave their own stores and economy and go shop and eat food sitting next to white people, the white people they claim they hate because they so racist. Think about that. We let these people beat the dog shit out of us so we could go sit up and eat a sandwich sitting next to a white person. And now you think niggas just about to say, you know what? We never shopping with them again. We never eating with them again. That's a damn lie. Being able to sit next to these people and buy shit from them has become a part of our identity. It's become a part of who we are. We go buy from white, Louis Vuitton, Versace, just to prove to ourselves that we're worth something. That's why this Asian lady is full of shit. She can't see it because her eyes is too damn cheap, but she's full of shit. Lady, you ain't talk. The only people this appeals to is dumb niggas because they haven't done, they haven't taken themselves through the full history of what happened. You're telling black people that to gain power, they have to do something that we already decided we no longer wanted to do, and left and started doing what we're doing now. It's never going to happen. A black-owned store in any black neighborhood most likely going to go out of business in less than a year. I'm being real with you. Very few exceptions. And if the store is black owned and you tell people, you don't let people know that it's black owned, it's gonna last way longer. There's a chain of coffee shops by my house, right? A black dude own it. Don't know. I won't even say the name of the freaking coffee shop because I know if I say the name, guess what? It might get shut down. Black people might start boycotting it or something. But black people don't even go there. Let me stop lying. Black people don't even go there. I go there. My boy Sticks and Stones LA go there. Sucker Season LA go there. But most people don't know it's black owned because the owner, he pop in like a customer. And if you don't know him, and if you look at him, he's a young dude, you wouldn't even know he owns it, but he don't make it a point that he's the owner. Right? Nobody know. If that dude had opened this chain of coffee shops saying, oh, black owned coffee shop, black chocolate coffee or whatever, bro, look, let me tell you something. It might have still did good, but it wouldn't have did good because black people shop in there. I promise you that. Black people don't want to buy from black people. And the black people who are willing to actually take the risk of selling to black people, they're going to charge you exorbitant prices because they're like, I know that if I'm dealing with my own people, there's a good chance that this business ain't going to last. So I got to get as much bread as I can right now. I'm being real with you. Somebody said I'm pathetic. You let me see. You so pathetic. You back a murderer if he's the right color. You're going to get what you deserve. Adam 3020. Yeah, I don't back any murderers. I don't back Rick Chow. I don't back Carmelo Anthony. I don't back anybody. I back the truth. And the truth is, this lady right here is lying, and she's actually taking advantage of the ignorance of certain black people by telling them that they need to do something that collectively, communally, we decided we no longer wanted to do back in the 1960s. Martin Luther King, listen to me. I want y'all to listen. I know this is the part where y'all get mad. Martin Luther King was one of the worst people in the history of the black community. And before you get mad, I want you to listen to why. Because Martin Luther King told black people, he convinced them, he indoctrinated them with this idea that the meaning of their existence was to be accepted by whites. He ran a campaign called Civil Rights that told black people that the epitome of their existence, the pinnacle of their existence, of their accomplishments, is to be able to enter into spaces, common spaces with white people. As a black man, I could never tell my child, go risk your life so you could go sit and eat ice cream next to a white person. There ain't no way. There ain't no way. Because I'm not going to tell anybody to risk their life for the acceptance of anybody else. Life is not about acceptance. See, this is what Asians understand. This is what continental Africans understand. This is what highly intelligent African Americans understand. If you have something that someone needs, they will make a point to come to you to get it. Do you notice back in the day when the dope dealers, right? White people would drive from the suburbs all the way to the hood to get crack cocaine if that's what they like doing, smoking crack. You didn't have to beg or force white people to come down there. If they like smoking crack, they would go to the hood and hang around the black crack dealers if it wasn't available where they live. People do things based on need. And if in them pursuing their need, they get to know you and develop a relationship with you, that's beautiful. That's unity, right? We're coming together for a common benefit. And in doing so, we develop a trusting relationship with each other. That's unity. That's America. And the problem is, because you were programmed by Martin Luther King to beg for white acceptance, the immigrants who came in here who are not programmed to do that, they have surpassed you in productivity per capita because they're operating on the only true metric of establishing unity, right? Through mutual benefit. That is the only way you can establish unity. You can't build unity over shaming another group, making up shit on another group, always positioning them as an oppressor. You don't want unity doing that. You want dominance doing that. You're trying to dominate on them. You're not trying to unify with them. And we and other groups of people are smart enough to understand that. Asians been running in civilizations for thousands of years. They know what it looked like when someone's trying to position them a certain way so that they can try to dominate on them in another way. You're trying to weaponize your experience under slavery against Asians who never enslaved you. Even against white people who never even owned a slave. And you know what they do? They manipulate the people who are manipulators, like this lady right here. They're going to manipulate you because they realize how ignorant you are.
But I don't have a lot of hope that Asian Americans are willing to do that because the Asian American business owners that we see currently are not even willing to treat their Black customers as human. So I fully support Black people boycotting these problematic businesses in their community. And I want to say that I think another thing that non-Black people aren't aware of is that it is not as simple as boycotting the businesses and putting them out of business and then opening your own to compete. Because the system will find ways to still not give them the loans or rezone them so they can't open a business or not grant the business licenses. And suppliers are literally conspiring against Black people who have managed to open a business in their own community.
See, this lady, she's very smart in the sense that she knows the exact words to use to manipulate Black people. Oh, well, even if you do open up the business, they'll do this and they won't get it. It's a lie. If you open a bar where a bar once stood, you're grandfathered in to the liquor license. It doesn't matter if you blue, black, or green. There was a Black dude right here. There was this bar called Rock Bottom in Long Beach. Right in the white area, directly next to the college, it was a Black dude who owned it. The problem with him, he tried to bring the hood to that bar. And he tried to make that a hangout for his little gang member friends. And the gang member friends said, nah, cuz, we ain't going over there, bro. Be charging too much for the drinks. And because he alienated the regulars who were going to that bar for years and decades by trying to bring the gang element there, and they stopped coming, when the gang members stopped coming because they said he was charging too much for the drinks, he shut down and went out of business. Now the bar is owned by a white guy again, It's peaceful. Ain't no hood boogers running in and out of there. And guess what? The bar's booming again. I know because the sushi place I like is right next door to it. But then he'll say discrimination and white supremacy and no, bro. You had every opportunity like everybody else, and you chose a failing business model, which is different from a dude I know who actually a black dude who opened a bar kind of in the hood, in another part of Long Beach in the hood area. But bro said, no. We in the hood, but you ain't bringing the hood into here. Bro literally made a rule, no tennis shoes, none of that. You got to wear like dress shoes. There's a dress code for that bar. It's in the hood, but you ain't coming up here with no guns, and you ain't coming up here in no attire where you looking like you coming up here to do something crazy. And guess what? His bar's been going strong for like 10 years. That has nothing to do with the white man. That has nothing to do with capitalism or it has everything to do with capitalism. It has nothing to do with oppression or racism. You got some black business owners that are good business owners. You have some black business owners that are bad business owners. Recently, I'm not a big soul food person, right? But I went to this place downtown LA called Fixin's Soul Food Kitchen. Picasso. That shit is fire. Fire. So good. I'm going back there for Father's Day. It's fire. Then I went to this other soul food place called Grits and Waffles in LA by some black folks from Texas. Tried it. The shit was trash. I didn't like it. Dang, I shouldn't have said that. That was not good because then they'll say but it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I'm sorry. It wasn't good. I'm never going back there. I spent $100 at Fixin's and I spent $93 at the Grits and Waffles. I will be returning to Fixin's. I will not be returning to Grits and Waffles. Does that mean I'm like, I hate black people and all this stuff? No. Does that mean the white man that indoctrinated me and I can't go? No, I just don't like your food. Hey, Clean Bass, I gave you the link. It's been in the comments. You said give you the link to come up. Come up here, man. Don't call it misinformation. Come up and prove that I'm full of crap. I'm telling you, people will talk this. They'll say this. Black people, they'll say this. They burnt down all the black-owned businesses. That's why black people don't have businesses. What year did they burn down Black Wall Street? What year did they, I want to ask black people, what year did they burn down Black Wall Street? What year did they burn down Black Wall Street? They burned down Black Wall Street in 1921. 1930, 1940, 1950, 1960. There was millions of black businesses all over the South. You're trying to tell me that one black business community getting burnt down caused all black businesses to cease to exist all over the South? Now let's ask this. What year was Black Wall Street rebuilt? 1922 is the primary year cited for the completion of the massive reconstruction of Black Wall Street. So Black Wall Street was burned down in 1921 and it was rebuilt in 1922. It was completed. But y'all gonna blame, no, it was rebuilt a year later. That's when they said the rebuild was complete. I'll show it to you. It's right here. Dude, this is an ongoing excuse. They burnt down Black Wall Street and you burnt down South Central. Did the Asians complain? We can never do business again because they burnt. No, they just rebuilt and kept on going. We use Black Wall Street as an excuse to not do anything. There were millions of black businesses that existed before and continue to exist after Black Wall Street. Meanwhile, if you come to LA where there's barely any, well, there's a lot of black people in LA. If you come to LA, there are black businesses all over the place. There are black businesses all over the place in LA. One of the most booming black businesses is this Jamaican place called A Beautiful Life. Oh my God. They got 2 locations right in downtown LA. Fire. Stop with the excuses. That's what this Asian lady is pandering to. The black people who make excuses. And then she probably, when she's not on TikTok, she's probably laughing at y'all. Like it's a joke. Oh, you just get on there and start telling them they victims and the white man and Asian is oppressing them. Yeah, she'll beat up on her own group because it makes her money on TikTok. This silly ass video got 8,669 likes. I don't know how many views it got. I can't see.
So
there's a lot of people who manipulate, and there's a lot of black people who manipulate other black people by pandering to the ignorance. Stop, you're hurting my feelings. Black Wall Street got torched for a reason. Yeah, it got torched because they said some black guy was messing with a white girl or something like that. Either way, it got rebuilt a year later. And now there's still Black Wall Street, so supposedly, but now it's going out of business because black people don't want to shop there. Like, let's be real, y'all. Black folks love Amazon. That's why we ain't going to shop in a lot of black businesses. I'm good in the hood. But yeah, this idea, boycott Asians. Boycott, this is stupidity. This is a waste of time.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm serious about this shit. I'm not spending another damn dime with them after what Rick Child did to 14-year-old Cyrus Belton. And I'm trying to see what y'all own.
Well, I'm definitely not on that. So if you don't know what she's referring to, there is an incident that happened back in May 2023 where this 14-year-old black kid walked into a convenience store and was accused of stealing water bottles. He later showed the owner that, hey, I don't have any water bottles. He emptied his pockets and then proceeded to leave the store. The owner and his son then chased after this kid and then unalived him by pew-pewing him in the back. The son said that the kid was brandishing a weapon towards them, so in self-defense, they unalived him. Sorry, it's hard to say the actual words. Now, the owner was found guilty of unaliving this kid. He served 3 years in prison. Recently, he has been acquitted of those charges, and that is why this woman is saying that we need to boycott.
Wait, what the hell did she say? The owner was found guilty. What?
Recently, he has been acquitted of this kid. Sorry, it's hard to say the actual words. Now, the owner was found guilty of unaliving this kid. He served 3 years in prison. Recently, he has been acquitted of those charges, and that is why this woman is saying that we need to boycott Asian businesses because she feels that justice was not served. There was a surveillance video showing that the kid didn't take any water, he didn't steal anything, but he did have a weapon on him when he was unalived, though there are conflicting reports saying that he never pointed his weapon. But anyway, that's for a different video. What I want to talk about is that no, we shouldn't be boycotting Asian businesses. Yeah, I don't think that the owner and the son should have ran after this kid for supposedly taking a $1 water bottle. It is not that serious, but other Asian businesses should not be affected negatively because of your opinion over a failed justice system. Regardless of what you think about this case, we need to spread more love. And if you agree with that, follow me, and maybe we can show the whole world how to spread love together.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm serious about this shit. I'm not spending another damn dime with them after what Rick Child did to 14-year-old.
Well, that's her choice. I see she got braids up in her head. I wonder where she gonna get the Canicola Remy for her braids. Because even if she buys it from a black-owned beauty supply, they bought it from an Asian. I promise you. You saying you ain't spending another damn dime with individuals up in your head. You's a liar. You're a liar. He wasn't convicted. He spent 3 years in jail without bond prior to the trial. So bro did a little bit of time. Okay. But he wasn't convicted. He wasn't found guilty. So she was tripping. But let me get these super chats from my brothers. Africulture boycott my ass. 100 for real, right? That's crazy. Now, donation. Okay. Zarth, my brother, my other brother in the building. Donation for Defiant Brandon. Thank you, my brother. Hey, man. I appreciate y'all. I use y'all donations to buy me coffee, so maybe I won't have to keep drinking the home brew. My daughter actually made this. It actually tastes pretty good. Maybe I'm the problem. But yeah, so we back on this again. Boycott. I'm tired of this mess. What is the point of continuing to boycott shit if you ain't never gonna change nothing? Because if we're gonna boycott Asians, then we need to start making changes on our own, right? We boycotted Target. Let me tell you this. Listen very closely. We boycotted Target, right, for being dumb enough to actually try to partner with and invest in our community in the products that we make, right? They got punished for giving us a chance. Do you think that any other company is going to give us a chance after that? Look what we said. Target is on BS. We boycotted them. So we going to go to Walmart and we going to go to Costco. Costco make you pay $50 just to be able to walk into their store. So in that way, they discriminate against black folks because they know most black folks ain't going to pay no $50 to go just to be able to shop in a store. Walmart, they don't give a damn what you talking about. They stuff coming from Asia is going on them shelves, and you either going to buy it or you going to get the hell out, right? And we steal from Walmart like nobody's business to the point where they damn near got to lock everything up. Do you think boycotting Target because we don't like the fact that Target ended the black on whatever program to promote black stuff, products, and put them on the shelf, do you think that a company is going to take a risk doing partnership with black folks or black product makers, black distributors or whatever you call it, if they know that if they feel like the arrangement is no longer beneficial to them and they end it purely based on financial reasons, that we're going to boycott their store and they're going to experience significant losses? Do you think that they're going to say, hey, we need to do business with them? No. Nobody wants to do business with somebody who going to try to kill them if you have to end the business relationship. This is the nature of business. Business relationships are born and they die. They even evolve. I'll give you a prime example. You'll see like a sitcom, right? They'll run a sitcom for a while. Then that sitcom will lose viewership or be canceled for whatever reason. They'll revamp the sitcom and bring it back under another name. Years later, the business relationship ended, and then the business relationship was rekindled. They do that with a lot of, they had the show Roseanne Barr, right? That ended. Then they brought back Roseanne under the Connors. Now she's not in it for a while. Then that sitcom will lose viewership or be canceled for you got to stop your playback. They'll revamp this and bring it back. I don't know what's under another name. You have to stop your playback. Stop your playback.
I'm trying to.
End it. Okay. But they brought that show back. They do that crap all the time. All right. Go ahead. I can't hear you. Oh, hold on. Unmute your microphone. You got your microphone muted. But yeah, unmute your microphone. It's muted. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now you're muted again. You muted it again. Just press it once. Don't press it multiple times. Okay, talk now.
Key. I did. I did.
Yeah, we can hear you. We hear you.
We live?
Yeah, we live.
Okay.
For a minute there, I thought you couldn't see the button, and I saw them thick ass glasses.
You hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. My main point, I ain't playing with you, but my main point is you're sitting there with a 1924 hat on.
Bro, you have to stop the playback. You got YouTube still playing in the background. I'm listening to you. You got YouTube playing in the background. You need a new prescription on these thick ass glasses.
I like that.
He jumped up here with some bottle caps on trying to talk shit. Don't look, you will get your ass.
Hey man, I can't help I'm blind. Now it's my fault I'm blind.
You
hey,
good.
Man.
You sound now you start talking bad about a black person, they gonna get this shit right. God damn, he ain't about to clown me. I knew what to do. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So my main point to you is to sit there with a 1924 hat on and not give historical context to your statements should be criminal. To understand the time period of 1924, I hope you can still hear me. To understand the time period of 1924 and then to advocate for it, but to not understand.
Stab the boy, right?
Say it again.
That's you with your playback. That ain't me. Your playback keep restarting for some reason.
Man.
Okay, you good. It went off. I don't know what you're doing, but keep going with the 1924 slander.
I ain't trying to slander. Because the thing is, I don't completely disagree with you. I don't like your narrative.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, but to sit there with a 1924 hat on and to not give historical context in this context is criminal. Can you hear that statement?
Yeah, you're saying not giving the context is criminal.
Well, to sit there with a 1924 hat on and to not give proper historical context is criminal. So yet again, me and my thick glasses can see me and my thick glasses can see all of the stuff that you're jumping over and neglecting and acting like it's not historically relevant. The Asian woman, I partially agree with you, and a lot of your jokes are funny. But to act like that is not a truth, it's not a reality. When Watts was burned down, they were given millions of dollars in insurance money. Tulsa was constantly bombarded with what?
Bombs.
Do you know? I go pull the book out of my room.
Bombs.
Okay. I'm with you. So as long as we understand the true historical context of that which we're talking about, then that's why I say, like, I'm not really for boycotting. I think we need to get together. We need to get together.
Thought they were going to fight.
So,
that's you. That's whatever's going on right there. But I hear you. You said we need to get together. Get together.
You need real community, real unification in the black community. I don't agree because I'm not a reactionary person. So to just they did something bad to me, I'm not gonna give them my money anymore. I agree with you. I don't relate to that sentiment. But the simple fact to act like we weren't destroyed and put into this situation.
I just started looking back at TikTok on my phone because it didn't even seem.
I don't even understand what's going on with your thing.
Because I had to talk to you on my laptop. I'm trying to talk to you on my phone, but you won't put a live link, so I had to get on my laptop and do all this backdoor stuff. That's why my signal is crazy.
I did put a live link. Okay, guys.
That is.
Shoot. Okay. Hey, Thank you so much. I gotta go. I've been on here too long. I got to actually do some work. Hey, I come back. We can have this conversation a little bit later. I agree with you on some of the things you said, but the whole point I'm making is black folks need to stop living in the past and start getting with the program in the future. We can talk about and honor the past and respect it and pay homage to it. We could even make a damn holiday about it. But to sit up and use that, what happened in the past, as excuses and we can't do this and can't do this. Black folks can do anything any other group of people can do, but we got to start preaching that mindset to our people instead of sitting up trying to. Who teaches their kid to be a fucking victim? That's my thing. Like, why would I teach my daughter with a 4.0 GPA? She just went and did her SAT today. She go to any school in the country she want to. Why I'm gonna sit up? But they burn. Remember, they burned Black Wall Street down, so don't try to be an engineer. Man, I went to this wedding, bro, in Texas, bro. I didn't even know there was a such thing as something called an engineer manager, right? I didn't even know there was a such thing as that. Dude, these young kids are like 27, 29 years old. They making $200,000, $250,000 a year, man. Black kids. So if you're the one trying to teach your kid that they can't do this and that because other group, you just the dummy, and you're going to get left behind by everybody, including but not limited to black people. All right, I got to go. Thank y'all so much for watching this. I appreciate everything you do for me and this channel. Till the next time, peace and love.